Deep left center field. It's gone! A grand slam for George Springer. Center field. Down for a hit. De La Cruz scores and the Reds win.
One out. And he hits it hard out to right center field. Pretty deep. Rafael is back. It's over his head. It's off the wall. It might be a home run. Moore's racing on his way to third. The game is tied at least as Moore has a triple, and I think he's won it. Saving it to the Red Sox.
With the first pick in the 2003 NBA Draft, the Cleveland Cavaliers select LeBron James. With the first pick in the 2011 NBA Draft, the Cleveland Cavaliers select Kyrie Irving from Duke University.
Oh, yeah. Give us more of that. Welcome into the Sam Bourquin Show, everybody. AM 1310 WDPN, streaming live all over the world at AM1310WDPN.com. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Did everybody notice the big cool down today? Like, didn't it feel like we went from like 98 to 72? Oh, wait. We didn't. It's 91 right now. But for some weird reason, the heat advisory went away. It's still very hot and humid, so be careful if you're out and about today. Phone lines are wide open for you today at 330-821-1310. That's 330-821-1310. What's going on today? Well, your host was right on the money last night with the Guardians and the Blue Jays. What did I tell you last night? There's going to be a lot of runs scored. 16 enough for you? I had a feeling last night that the ball was going to be jumping all over the yard, and it certainly did. The bad news is the Toronto Blue Jays kind of spanked Cleveland around last night a little bit. Little grand slam by George Springer, which you heard in our show open today. Excuse me. And the Guardians just could not, again, they could not get the big hit where they needed it. Obviously, when you give up 10 runs, it's going to be hard to win a game. And Logan Allen did not have it last night. Guardians fall 39-38, 9.5 behind Detroit now, but they're still sitting there okay. Just on the outside looking into the wild card, they're a game and a half out as we speak. So we'll do it again tonight, 6:40 the first pitch. Jays and Guards from Cleveland. And then tomorrow, action. Then the Cardinals come to town Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You talk about, this is just my perspective, my opinion, an event that is just like completely gone underneath the radar. The NBA draft is tonight. It's tonight. It's hard to believe. Boy, they don't screw around. Here, this is what I love about the NBA. We start training camp like the end of September, okay? And there's practices, there's preseason games. Then we open up the regular season around the 20th or 21st of October. And then we play October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June. Boom! We crown a champion on Sunday. There's a parade on Tuesday, and the draft is on Wednesday. Like, give me a little balance here. Give me something. So tonight's the NBA draft. And remember, we talked yesterday, they're doing it a little different this year. Tonight will be round one. Tomorrow night will be round two. So they're gonna split them up. And again, as we mentioned yesterday, where's the buzz? Where is it? Where's the juice? I mean, NBA draft night used to be all that in a bag of chips. It used to be pretty good stuff. Not like it used to be. Not the way the college game is now. Not the way with NIL. Not the way with the transfer portal. It's a whole different thing. Like, we know Cooper Flagg is going to go to Dallas. And after that, okay, you say so. If that's where you tell me somebody's going to go, or that's where they went, okay, I'm good. Just no juice, no buzz whatsoever. Now, we've had a couple of, some trades leading up to it. KD switched teams. Kristaps Porzingis got moved yesterday. CJ McCollum got moved yesterday. Drew Holiday got moved to the Portland Trailblazers. CJ actually is leaving New Orleans, and now he's going to be with the Washington Wizards. A couple of decent-sized trades as far as, players, personalities, teams, whatever. But, the KD thing was big. Kyrie is planning on signing an extension with the Mavericks, I see, to the tune of 3 years and $119 million. So, and then there's the draft. Okay, there's Cooper Flagg. Now what? Like, I've never seen a draft where the teams that are picking like 2 and 3 and 4 wouldn't mind moving out of there to maybe get some assets, maybe to trade down in the draft, maybe to try to get a 1 next year or the year after, depending on who they think is going to come out and how the college basketball stuff is going to work. Usually, it was like, if you could get in the top 7, top 7 or 6 or 7, you were gold. You weren't going to come out of there without something really good. It's not like that anymore. It's not like that this year. Not to say that it can't go back, but I don't see that happening. So, okay, so Cooper Flagg goes numbered 1 tonight, as we all expect, with the Dallas Mavericks. Okay. Then what? Okay. Can I interest you in Dylan Harper? Who? Dylan Harper goes to Rutgers. That powerhouse in the Big Ten, Rutgers. Like, he's going to go to the Spurs at number 2, most likely. I mean, Ace Bailey. Who? Okay. Another guy from Duke. Condu Epple. Okay. Probably going to go to the Hornets. Then there's Trey Johnson. I have heard of Trey Johnson. Played at Texas. Probably going to go to the Utah Jazz. You see what I mean? Like, where is the star power? Where's the star power after a guy like Cooper Flagg? Now, you may see some deals tonight. You may see some swaps. You may see some things. I don't know. Probably won't see much or any of that tomorrow when you're just picking in the second round. So the NBA draft has lost some spice. It's lost some juice, man. It used to be a lot different. I mean, you had 4, 5, 6 guys lined up in a row. Lottery pick. You knew where they went to school. You knew what they were going to bring. The cities were already like, okay, opening up their doors. Here we go. This is how we're going to brand. This is what we're going to sell. This is what we're going to build around. This is how we're going to do it. It's tough nowadays. It's tough. I mean, is anybody like, I can't wait for the draft tonight? I mean, when do we pick? I think the Cavs pick like the end of this, almost to the end of the second round tomorrow night. It's just not there. But it is tonight. And what we thought we would do throughout the program today, let's go back and play you some of the draft picks that were made by the Cavaliers. You heard a couple of them in the open with LeBron James and, of course, Kyrie Irving. We'll take you back in time a little bit, and we'll play back some of the NBA draft lotteries that the Cavaliers were fortunate to win. We're also going to check in with Evan Dammarell from Right Down Euclid on Twitter. Evan covers the Cavs, little NBA, little draft. We'll talk to him at 4:10 here this afternoon. Also, I mean, there could be some more movement today. I don't want to poo-poo the whole draft day thing, but there could be some stuff going on today. There could be some teams that want to. There could be a giant trade today. I don't know. There could be. So we'll keep you posted. We'll keep you posted on that as far as the NBA draft and moves and teams and things like that. It is also poll question of the day. We kind of veered away from sports on this one a little bit and more towards you and your daily life and some things that you have to, make decisions on. Today's poll question of the day. In today's world, what is the biggest racket going right now? A, bottled water. B, gas prices. C, cable or satellite TV. D, health insurance. What's the biggest racket? You could almost call it a scam. What's the biggest scam going today? Bottled water, gas prices, cable or satellite TV, or health insurance? That's your Sam Bourquin Show poll question of the day. 330-821-1310. That's 330-821-1310. You can also leave a comment on all of our social media platforms, the 1310 WDPN Facebook page, our X page, also on the Q92 Radio YouTube page. Check that out. Leave us a comment and let us know. Or is there something that I forgot? Is there one or two things I forgot to put on that list? You're only given 4, so that's what I went with. I would put warranties on there. Like you go and you buy a real expensive item, and then they get ready to ring you up. So you think your price is going to be this. Sir, would you be interested in a 3 or 5 year extended warranty on this? It'll only be another $247 a month, but if anything happens, it'll be taken care of. And I always look at him and I go, hey, wait a minute. I just dropped, $35,000 on a car, or we just dropped $3,500 on a TV. So you must not feel real good about your product if you're shoving a warranty down my throat, just in case something goes wrong. Right? I may add that to the list, but the list right now in today's world, what's the biggest racket? What's the biggest scam? A, bottled water. B, gas prices. C, cable or satellite TV. Or D, health insurance. Let us know. Also, later today on this day in sports history, and we got some good stuff coming up there for you today as well. All right, let's get the phones rolling. Let's get social media rocking and rolling. Let's go. 330-821-1310. Let's go to the phones. You're on the Sam Bourquin Show. Good afternoon. Who's this?
What's going on, Sam, my radio brother?
Tomas. How are you, bud?
Oh, just sitting here looking like this, dude.
I've been burned once already today. I left the car windows down out here in the WDPN parking lot. Had to run out there, start the car, roll them up. Got absolutely soaked. And you'd think I'd learned my lesson. So I had to make a quick trip down to the store. Came back. I said, you know what? I'm going to leave them down again. And I did.
Yeah,
so hopefully
go for an encore,
I'm going for an encore. So hopefully everything works out there. What's on your mind today?
Well, Sam, first of all, I'm going to go with number 4 because healthcare, we pay 74% of the world's healthcare costs. Let me say that again. 74%. And that it goes with prescriptions That's why other countries are cheap, Sam, because we pay
74%. Wow, that makes me sick. That really does.
Good.
That absolutely makes me sick.
And unelected politburos are the ones that did that, with the help of some politicians, because, all congressmen are rich, Sam. We don't know how that happened, but
right. Somehow that portfolio just expanded. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I am living in a world I do not understand, Sam.
I understand.
Sam, I got to start off with something that happened in Columbus on Friday night.
Oh, Tom. I know exactly what you're talking about. Go ahead.
It is terrible. And, when you build a media empire on YouTube and other platforms, and you make it this big, and then you go out, drink and drive, and take the life of another human being. This is completely foreign to me, Sam. This is completely foreign to me. I know he's had a history of some of the stupid stuff. I think to some extent we all have some history with something. So never meant to be a basher on any of that. But, Sam, I didn't even know where to start. I know the exact area where it happened. And Dublin is not the kind of place you should be driving 103 miles an hour.
You know what, Tom? I used to have I had family down in Dublin, and they lived they lived in Muirfield Village, as a matter of fact. So they have since moved to South Carolina several years ago. But I used to go down there all the time, and you talk about you better be on your P's and Q's down there. Driving, being smart, and there's no room for what happened there.
Especially in a big city like Columbus, because, all those outlying little communities, you're going to get the traffic from it. And, it was heck trying to get out of Columbus after the Michigan debacle last year. And, that was just the game itself was a Machiavellian tragedy, not to add to the pain that was already with the traffic trying to get out of town. But yeah, Sam, this is crazy. And you put into the fact that, his career is over, Sam. It's over.
Yeah.
He'll spend 5 years in jail.
Yeah.
And it's over, because really being a social media or a politician, it's what you're doing right now. And it really is about, the art of the political slight. And it really is about, you got to look good, at least on the surface. And once that's gone, you're gone. And it's unfortunate, but hopefully he can put his life back together. He has a wonderful family. He's got a good support structure around him. But man, Kirk, what were you thinking, man? He bet a .28, Sam.
Yeah, it was.
Youngstown State couldn't even score that much in football.
Yeah, I've known Kirk for a long time, and actually he's been a guest on a couple of my shows at a couple of stops before I've come over here to 1310 and Q92 Sports, and I know of Kurt's had some issues and stuff, and I. Like you had mentioned a couple of minutes ago, I'm not going to come down on somebody's, personal life and the trouble that they're in or they're not in, because, we've all had stuff happen. And I just, gosh, when it gets to a point where another life has been taken, you kind of got to circle the wagons here now a little bit. And I hope it's not too late for him. I think there is going to be some time away. But I just hope that somehow, some way, you know what I mean? Get where you need to get.
Yeah, because he talked about losing his father at such a young age, and now those kids, at least for a little while, are going to lose their father.
Yeah, I saw that story, and I read the story. I saw the mug shot. I said, "Oh my God!" it just made me sick. Yeah.
By the way, Sam, we got all summer to talk high school football. I can't wait. I'm very glad that you're back on the air, because over the last couple of years, Sammy, I've had some great stuff that I could have shared with you on the air, but hey, you're back. That's all that matters. And Sam, I'm going to leave you with this, and that is this. What the heck happened with the Alma Mount Union game 2 seasons ago?
No, don't bring that up. Oh my God!
You got to talk about that coming around, because I thought it was over last year, and then they wound up going to the championship.
Yeah, they almost.
You've got to explain this to me. You have to.
Call me off the air tonight.
Has got to be restored, Sam. You've got to tell me what the heck happened.
Call me off the air after tonight. We'll discuss it.
Oh my God,
I think you still have my cell. If not, I'll send it to you.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Sam,
Alma.
Sam, oh my God. I don't even know.
Yeah.
Until next week, my brother.
I'll talk to you. Later. Okay. Oh my God. He just brought up the Alma College Mount Union game from a couple years ago in the playoffs. Make it stop. No, we're not going there. Jeez Louise. That was a rough day. I obviously was broadcasting that game here on 1310 WDPN. And I felt helpless watching what was going on. Like you could see what was going to happen. And I thought, oh no. Oh yeah, it happened. Hey, we're over that though. We're moving on, baby. We're going to the championship game again this year, Mount Union football. And guess what the best part of that is? It's in Canton at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. Let's go. News and weather coming up. Stay with us.
The latest news and the current Alliance area weather forecast are up next on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 3:30. The man accused of firebombing a pro-Israel march and rally in Boulder, Colorado earlier this month has been indicted. ABC's Alex Stone reports.
In a new federal indictment, Mohammed Solomon has been charged with 12 hate crime counts for allegedly using Molotov cocktails to attack victims on the Pearl Street Mall in Boulder on June 1st. He had previously been charged with 1 federal hate crime. The new indictment is 12. He's also facing 118 state charges, including attempted murder. Solomon allegedly plotted his attack for over a year, wanting to kill pro-Israel marchers in Boulder. Alex Stone, EBC News.
NATO leaders have agreed on a massive increase in defense spending after pressure from President Trump and expressed their ironclad commitment to come to each other's aid if attacked. The 32 leaders endorsed a final summit statement saying allies commit to invest 5% of gross domestic product annually on core defense requirements, as well as defense and security-related spending by 2035 to ensure our individual and collective obligations. Russia remains the major threat in Europe, but the U.S. is shifting its attention to focus on security issues elsewhere. However, some countries have already warned that they will struggle to meet the target. President Trump and Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky met on the sidelines of the NATO summit in the Netherlands today. The president says the conversation did not include any mention of a ceasefire, but Zelensky said it did. When asked at a news conference after the summit today about why the president hasn't been able to help the Russians and Ukrainians stop the fighting, Trump had this to say while claiming the ceasefire between Iran and Israel is holding.
Vladimir Putin has been more difficult. Frankly, I had some problems with Zelensky. You may have read about him. And it's been more difficult than other wars. I mean, look, we just ended a war in 12 days that was simmering for 30 years, frankly.
Kilmar Abrigo Garcia's wife says their wedding anniversary falls on the day he's expected to be released from jail in Tennessee and then taken into immigration custody. The Salvadorian national, whose mistaken deportation became a flashpoint over the Trump administration's immigration policies, has been in jail since he was returned to the United States early this month. Abrigo Garcia faces 2 counts of human smuggling. A hearing to set conditions for his release pending trial is set for today. Immigration authorities are expected to immediately detain him. Abrigo Garcia's wife says it's been 106 days since he was, in her words, abducted by the Trump administration. It's 90 degrees in Alliance at 3:32. This is WDPN News. I'm Jeff Mears.
Here's the Alliance area weather forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
Showers and thunderstorms are in the forecast for this afternoon. Otherwise, partly sunny, a high near 88. Chance of rain 60%. Slight chance of showers and thunderstorms tonight and overnight. Patchy fog after about 3 a.m. Otherwise, mostly cloudy, a low 71. For Thursday, showers and thunderstorms likely in the afternoon. Otherwise, partly sunny, a high near 88. Chance of rain 60%. That's your WDPN weather.
The proud and honorable men and women of our military are still overseas, sacrificing their lives and their families' emotions for another country's freedom. Please pray for the courageous troops of our military. This salute, courtesy of Mark's Automotive in Clinton, where they're serving our community with excellence. For employment opportunities, call Mark's Automotive at 330-882-8077. That's 330-882-8077. They're hiring ASE certified mechanics immediately. That's Mark's Automotive on the air, saluting our troops.
Are you ready to up your mealtime game with a beautiful new dining suite? How about your movie nights on the couch? Is more comfortable seating on your list this year? Maybe you just need a better night's rest. Whatever the case, when we spend time at home with our families, we all want quality, comfort, and names we can trust. That's why Grove's appliances, furniture sets, and even their mattresses make all the difference. With a beautiful showroom full of ideas and over 700 fabric choices for furniture, you'll be sure to find something that will fit beautifully into your home. On a budget, Grove has a scratch and dent room filled with appliances with minor aesthetic blemishes that can help you replace that fridge on the fritz for a fraction of the cost. Come and see why Grove is better than big box stores. Explore your options and get to know Grove's amazing staff and stellar service team to help with all of your needs.
Come see us at Grove, where it always feels like home.
This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
And we're back here on the program, 1310 WDPN, streaming live at AM 1310 WDPN.com. Phones are open, 330-821-1310, 330-821-1310. You can also text the show anytime on the WDPN text line, 330-924-7088. Got a couple tidbits from Buck. Oh my God, Buck. Sam, when was the last time a white guy was taken first in the draft? I actually know that answer. It was Kent Benson. Way back in this, it must have been the mid to late 70s. And he went to Indiana. And I think he was selected by the Milwaukee Bucks. I'm pretty sure. Here's another interesting fact. And this is kind of scary. 3 Eastern Conference guards tore their Achilles tendon this year. All 3 wore the number 0 on their uniform. Damian Lillard, Jason Tatum, and Tyrese Halliburton. Holy smokes. Point guards, don't be trying to wear number 0. That is bad news. That is bad news. That's terrible. You know, I was thinking yesterday, and I wasn't thinking about the jersey number thing, but the guys that are blowing out their Achilles tendons. And for 3 guys of that caliber, like Tatum, Lillard, and Halliburton, 3 of the really good players, and they did it all in the same season. Now, like when Kobe did it, it was like, holy smokes. Do you think there's anything to that? Or is it just, it's just happenstance? It's just irony. Not irony. It's just what happened.
It's a fantastical coincidence.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Is it just like, I mean, is there something to point guards in the NBA today blowing out their Achilles in the same season? Like, I know people used to rupture and tear their Achilles. Like, I know it's happened before. It's happened multiple times before. But I can't remember a period of time where 3 studs tore their Achilles in this short amount of time in the same year. I mean, I could be way off base here, but that's like, that makes me sit up and say, hey, why? Is it warming up techniques? Are we not stretching? Are we accelerating? I'm not doing any of this. Are the players just accelerating too quickly and putting all that stress on an Achilles as you're moving forward to blow by a guy, to go down the lane, to blow by a guy 3 or 4 steps and kick it to the wing and somebody shoot it? Or just to take somebody off the dribble and go right to the rack and throw it in? Why is this happening now? To me, this is almost alarming that 3 players would blow their Achilles out. Boom, boom, boom. And it's Lillard, Tatum, and Halliburton. All right, do the players have to rethink? Do the doctors and trainers and managers have to rethink how they train? How they want to start to get going on a drive before a kick or a shot? Does this go back to the season being too long? Does it go back to preseason? Does it go back to camp? They're just not. I mean, how is this happening? I almost want to reach out to to a doctor or a surgeon or somebody in the healthcare that. I mean, what's going on here? Because I don't want to see this keep happening. I mean, God, I don't want this to happen to Donovan Mitchell or Darius Garland, just from my own Cavaliers point of view. I don't want to see these guys tearing their Achilles. This isn't like a hangnail. It puts you out for a year, maybe 14, 15, 16 months, and you have no idea. You have no idea how you're going to be when you get back. That's the thing. There's this talk about the guys in Major League Baseball, and they have Tommy John surgery. Oh, it's fine. They're going to be better. They're going to be even better when they get done with the surgery. Okay. Yes, in some instances, no in others. It's just like with the Achilles. Oh, they're going to get this great treatment, and they're going to reattach, and they're going to be even better. I don't know if I agree with that. There's an awful lot of the NBA, mostly in the NBA, because the NBA is still mostly a one-on-one league. High school, college, it's a little different. There's a little more ball movement around the perimeter. We're throwing the ball in and throwing the back out. In the NBA, what are you trying to do? Take your man to the rack. And whether you're going to shoot or pass doesn't make any difference. You're trying to get past that guy. And what are you doing? You're hitting the gas. You're accelerating. And you've got your left foot in front of your right or right in front of your left, and you're pushing off. But if you're a lefty or a righty, you're pushing off that opposite foot. And you got one thing on your mind: beat my guy. Beat him. Get past him. Make my moves. Work my magic. Do my thing. Dish or score. And what are you doing? It's like getting out of the starting blocks on a sprint. I'm sure you've all watched the Olympics, the 200, the 400, the 50-yard dash, whatever it is, meters, dash, whatever. And guys getting those starting blocks, they get their marks. The starter fires the gun in the air, and they're off. That's what these guys are doing when they want to make a move toward the basket or to blow by somebody and get a shot up or dish it into the corner or the wing or wherever. That's what they're doing. That's how they're starting. And right at the end of that push is when these Achilles are popping, they're tearing, they're shredding, they're blowing out. That's when it happens. And I don't know how you fix that. I wish I could tell the players how to fix that. I don't want to see. Do you think anybody wanted to see Tyrese Halliburton blow a tire 5 minutes into Game 7? No. I don't even think Oklahoma City did.
No, I can't imagine that made the win feel better at the end of the day.
Right. Well,
'Cause-
I mean, you watched, I watched, and the people in the building was like, oh. It just took the juice right out of the building. And even though there were probably some OKC people, we got them now, and which was true, but you don't want to see that happen. I've always been a competitor where if it's hoops, I want my 5 against your good 5.
Exactly. I want basketball to be a team sport.
Absolutely.
I want to watch 2 teams play. I don't want to watch a 1v1 with the other 4 guys just kind of hanging out, passing the ball around.
No. Football, I want my 11 on your 11. Baseball, I want my 9 against your 9.
Hey, you can't do that in football. If you try to just have like your quarterback do all the work, he's just going to get pummeled by the whole other team.
Oh, you're done.
Yeah, you can't.
Football especially. I mean,
there's no way you have to play as a team.
You got 11 guys on the field. If you got 9 guys doing the right thing and 2 no, your quarterback's probably going down. And it's the fact that Buck sent this over today about the 3-point guards wearing 0, all tore their Achilles in the same year. I mean, I think that's a little something that needs to be looked at by the NBA. I don't know, the competition committee, the doctors, somebody, because that shouldn't happen. Look, we see guys roll their ankles. We see guys, stretch the groin out. They land funny. They come down on the small of their back after trying to get a rebound. You come down on somebody's ankle. You're going up for a dunk, you get blocked, and your wrist or your fingers get a little mangled up or whatever. But these Achilles, these are 12, 14, 16-month deals. These aren't things that you hop on the injured list, you take a break, you come back, and you're good to go. Not with an Achilles. So I hope Halliburton's okay. I hope these guys all heal up. I don't want to turn on a Bucks game and see Damian Lillard in a boot. I don't want to watch the Pacers play without Halliburton. I want to see the best guys out there. My God, when Kobe tore his Achilles with the Lakers, it made me sick. Jason Tatum with the Celtics. Of course, they're going to look a whole lot different anyway. But you turn the Celtics on, you want to see him out there. Not on the sidelines in a boot, in a cast, in crutches. That's not what we signed up for. Phones are open 330-821-1310, 330-821-1310. Our Sam Bourquin Show poll question of the day. In today's world, what's the biggest racket, the biggest scam going right now? Is it bottled water, gas prices, cable or satellite TV, or health insurance? Thomas says it's gas prices, and it's not even close. Bill says, Sam, I got a tie. Gas prices and cable and satellite TV. Rainsburg, where are you at with the scams?
Oh, this one's a no-brainer for me.
Oh, you're all right. Okay.
Yeah, no, it's health insurance all day.
Insurance?
That's the biggest scam on the planet is the American medical system. 100%.
I was actually going to move that up the chart a little bit, because sometimes when you're doing a poll question, you strategically put the answers in certain spots. Like, I didn't want to put gas prices and health insurance right next to each other, so I split them up. And that's why I put D down there at the bottom. But bottled water, I think is a fraud.
Oh, no.
I think it is an absolute fraud.
They are absolutely all grifts and rackets, but health insurance is by far the worst.
Yeah, health insurance is bad. The gas prices, obviously, are horrible.
Right. The gas prices are bad, but they're not causing anybody to die like health insurance.
I mean, cable, satellite TV, that's where all the streaming stuff comes into play. But I've always said at the end of the day, okay, go ahead and dump your cable, go dump your satellite, and you've signed up for 15 apps. Guess what? You're right back where you were. You're paying the same damn price. They got you. And then the health insurance. You know, well, you got to pay you got to pay your premium. You got that every month. Then you got to pay your deductible. Okay. So what am I paying for? What am I paying for at the end of all this? I mean, it's unbelievable. It really is. It really is unbelievable.
It's one of those, I'm sorry, they took you in that ambulance to that hospital. Neither of those things are covered. So that $25,000 bill, sorry, right. That's not our problem.
That comes straight to you.
You should have told them to pick you up in the other ambulance and take you to the other hospital because we covered that one.
Right. And then
every time.
And then you see the bill where it says $25,217, and then at the bottom there's a little asterisk. Doesn't include charges that will be coming from X, Y, Z, A, B, C, D. And pretty soon you're looking at like 40 grand.
Yeah, don't worry about those. We'll add those later. You're not going to worry about those.
Yeah. You won't even see them. Don't worry about it.
You're never going to see those numbers.
Just keep paying your premium. Tom Sterick says, Sam, why not add an E button for all of the above? Yes, I completely agree. Dan says, Sam, gas prices, no question about it, the biggest racket. London says, think about it. You pay for the service and then you pay again to watch certain sporting events, movies, etc. So cable and then TV, cable and satellite TV there for London. That is a great point as well. 10 minutes till the top of the hour. Let's sneak out of here for a minute. 330-821-1310. You can text the show at 330-924-7088. It's the Sam Bourquin Show on a Wednesday, AM 1310 WDPN.
Music and intelligence for your life.
No matter what anybody tells you, words and ideas can change the world.
I'm John Tesh, and we couldn't be happier about bringing you intelligence for your life every day. We have a room full of researchers gathering the information and ideas you need to make your life simpler and better, and to make you the smartest person in the room. Join me for Music and Intelligence for Your Life, 10 to 3, Monday through Saturday, only on AM 1310 WDPN.
You heard it on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Achieving this takes skill and expertise. They're tireless explorers, creatively discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, experimenting, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other. Leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org, a campaign supported by the U.S. Department of Education, teach.org, and 1 million teachers of color.
When I grow up, I want to be a teacher.
Because when I'm a teacher, I can help kids to learn and chase their dreams.
PI, a defect of the immune system, affects millions of children. Early and accurate diagnosis and treatment give children like Sam a chance to achieve their dreams.
It takes a lot of caring teachers to make school fun. It took a lot of caring people to keep my dream alive. And now, because of them, I can be head of the class.
For more information, visit the Jeffrey Modell Foundation at info4pi.org.
This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
Welcome back, everybody. The Sam Bourquin Show poll question of the day. In today's world, what's the biggest racket? What's the biggest scam? What makes you say, what in the... Is it A, bottled water, B, gas prices, C, cable, satellite TV, or D, health insurance? Give us your comment, 821-1310. You can text the show, 330-924-7088. You can also comment on all of our social media platforms. AM 1310 WDPN on Twitter, on Facebook, Q92 radio page on YouTube. I understand we got a YouTube comment.
Yes,
over there.
speaking of YouTube, Brian on YouTube says youth travel baseball.
Oh, yes. See, that's what I'm talking about. Yes. I have heard horror stories about youth sports and the cost, whether it's travel baseball, AAU basketball, girls volleyball, skating, gymnastics. I have heard, and if anybody else out there has some horror stories about that, please call in, because I want to hear yours. I'm sorry that you're going through it, but I'm sure there are some wild stories out there about cost for youth sports, whether it's travel ball, basketball, gymnastics, soccer, whatever it is. Oh, I have heard umpteenth examples about that.
Well, as I understand it, a lot of the money stuff just ends up being the parents' problem. So they have to pay for all the transportation and all the gear and all the food and all the stuff like that.
Plus paying the fee to attend said event or said weekend or whatever. And there's got to be a couple stories out there. Moms and dads, grandparents, 330-821-1310. Biggest scam, biggest racket going today. We've got the choices of bottled water, gas prices, cable or satellite TV, or health insurance. Yes, the cost of youth sports, absolutely is in there. Oh, I've heard. And that's why you will see a lot of the area coaches, not just in Stark, but all over the country, like, parents, please pay attention. Don't do this. Don't get caught paying for this. Don't spend on that because it's a rip. And it's like the annual rite of passage. Coaches have to put these same warnings out every year because there's a new wave of parents coming in that their son or their daughter is, getting involved in youth sports, travel sports, whatever it is. And you got to keep putting that warning out there because, some of these outfits, organizations, whatever, they'll take you to the cleaners because it's all about making money for them. They really don't care if your son or daughter gets any better or gets a couple of extra looks by a scout or gets a couple of extra innings on the diamond, another quarter they're just worried about making money. They don't care about you or your kids. And, even the ones that do, there's a lot of expenditures going on there. I mean, you're right. The travel, the hotels, the gas, the food, paying for the right to go play in these tournaments or games or weekends or classics or whatever they might happen to be. Oh, yeah. You could put that right up there. There is no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Oh, my gosh. When I played, we didn't. And I played baseball. That's what I stuck with. And I started playing when I was 8. And we used to play in the it was just the Avondale League. And we played at Avondale School. We played at St. Michael's. We would play at Taft in the Glen Oak District. We would play at some other fields around. So that was for 8 and 9 years old. No, it was 8. It went 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And we started to travel a little bit when I was probably 16, 17. We started playing American Legion ball, and we were traveling all over. Mostly it was down to like Steubenville, down on the river, little towns like Brilliant, Toronto. If you're familiar with travel baseball or American Legion ball, that's like, but that was like every weekend. And it was like Saturday, we'd drive down to Steubenville in the morning and play doubleheader. We'd drive all the way back home. And then on Sunday, we'd have to go back to Toronto or Brilliant or somewhere down there. And it was just, we played like 70 games one summer. And I was like, man, that's a lot of ball. It's a lot of traveling. But in my earlier days, there was, we just played teams around the area. Just hit little round robin tournaments. We had, 6, 7, 8 teams in a league. You'd play them twice a year. You're done. You'd play like 16 games. Then there was a tournament, and that usually lasted about 3 days, and you were done. That was it. Go home. But now it's a whole new ball game now. Sam, just wanted to let you know, high school football fans out there, that Perry offensive tackle Preston Daisy has accepted an offer from Toledo to play football for the Rockets. So congratulations to Preston. And so that means he's going to go there, or that he just got an offer? It says they accepted. So it looks like he's going to go up to Toledo and play for the Rockets. All right, big man. The big man was a key cog in the Perry Panther basketball team too, especially in the tournament. Big fella was grinding underneath the basket. Helped the Panthers get all the way to the state championship game this past year down in Dayton. So congratulations, Preston Daisy from Perry. He's going to play his college football for the Toledo Rockets. All right, 1 hour in, 2 big more hours to go. We're just getting cranked up here on a Wednesday. Hang out with us, will you? 1310 WDPN. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
News, weather, sports, local information, and music 24 hours a day. This is AM 1310 WDPN Alliance.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. President Trump, before wrapping up at the NATO summit in the Netherlands, told reporters he's confident the ceasefire deal between Iran and Israel will hold.
I dealt with both, and they're both tired, exhausted. They fought very, very hard and very viciously, very violently. And they were both satisfied to go home and get out.
Capitol Police say nearly 3 dozen demonstrators were taken into custody today, charged inside the Capitol for obstruction. That crowd protesting the president's budget reconciliation package that will also include cuts to programs like Medicaid. Minority Leader Chuck Schumer has been released from a hospital in Washington, D.C. after being treated for dehydration this morning, according to a spokesperson for the Democratic leader. Schumer was working out at the Senate gym when he felt lightheaded. He's back working at the Capitol, reminding everyone to drink water and stay out of the heat. The East Coast has been taxed by triple-digit temperatures all week. This is ABC News.
O'Reilly. Stay cool this summer with AC Pro refrigerant at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Right now, get a $15 gift card after rebate with the purchase of select AC Pro refrigerant products that include a hose and gauge. If your vehicle's AC is blowing hot air, beat the heat with AC Pro. Visit your O'Reilly Auto Parts store or shop online at O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Offer not valid in all states or where prohibited by law. Loans are subject to lender approval. See website for details.
Honey, the credit card bill came, and we're maxed out.
Maxed out cards, rent is due. We just need some extra cash to help us get by.
Maybe we should go to 27cash.com.
With our bad credit?
27cash.com is one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with any type of credit get up to $5,000, and cash can hit our bank account as soon as tomorrow.
When you need extra cash, go to 27cash.com. That's 27cash.com. 27cash.com.
Now, the latest Alliance area news from Jeff Mears on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 4:02. Stark County's jobless rate takes a slight dip. May unemployment was 4.8%, down from April's figure of 5.2. According to Ohio Job and Family Services, it was 4.8% in May 2024. Carroll County's unemployment declined to 4.9%, while Columbiana County's fell to 5.1%. In Mahoning County, the jobless figure dropped to 5.3%. Portage County's dipped to 4.6%. Unemployment across Ohio held steady at 4.9%. Canton fire officials say a vehicle crashed into a gas station this morning. A woman driving an SUV backed into a post outside the Marathon in the 1700 block of Cleveland Avenue Northwest. Battalion Chief Steve Henderson says she panicked and hit the gas, causing the vehicle to go into the store. No one was hurt. The incident occurred around 10:45. The business sustained significant damage and is now temporarily closed. The Highway Patrol is investigating a two-vehicle fatal accident in Sandy Township. 53-year-old Richard Townsend of Magnolia was operating a motorcycle northbound on Route 43 just before midnight Tuesday when it collided with a southbound vehicle driven by an 89-year-old Waynesburg man. Townsend and a passenger, 48-year-old Jennifer Byers of Navarre, were pronounced dead at the scene. The other driver was not hurt. The patrol says neither victim was wearing a helmet. Two missing people are the subject of separate investigations. Perry Township Police say 48-year-old Chad Poland was last seen walking away from his home in the Perry Hills Colony Apartments around 6:22 Thursday morning. He may be driving a blue 2016 Honda Accord with Ohio license plate EVJ2737. Poland is a disabled veteran and requires medication. Anyone with information on his whereabouts should call Perry Township Police at 330-478-5121. The Stark County Sheriff's Office says 14-year-old Anna Lisa Taylor was last spotted Tuesday night around 11:45 in the 8800 block of Mapledale Avenue Southeast in Waynesburg. She left in an unknown direction. Taylor is 5'8", weighs about 165 pounds, and has brown hair and eyes. Anyone with information is asked to call the Sheriff's Office at 330-430-3800. A man is sentenced to 10 months behind bars after being found guilty of unlawful sexual conduct with a minor and possession of criminal tools. 51-year-old Daniel Hosick of Monroe Falls will also serve 5 years of probation. He was arrested last August by agents with the Mahoning Valley Human Trafficking Task Force and Salem Police after he showed up to meet for sex with a person he thought was a 15-year-old girl. Other charges were dismissed. A shooting in Craig Beach is under investigation by the Mahoning County Sheriff's Office. They released pictures of the incident captured by a security camera. No one was hurt, but a business was struck by gunfire. The shooting happened around 9 p.m. Sunday. Anyone with information is asked to call the Sheriff's Office at 330-480-5051. They can also submit anonymous tips to the Greater Mahoning Valley Crime Stoppers by calling 330-746-2583. A Mahoning County judge has sentenced a man to 8 to 10.5 years in prison for a deadly shooting. Common Pleas Judge Anthony Dapolito handed down the punishment today to 20-year-old Jacoby Walker. He pleaded guilty to a count of involuntary manslaughter with a gun specification last month. In February 2022, 22-year-old Isaiah Helms was found dead at a cemetery on Liberty Road in Youngstown. Prosecutors say he was lured to a car driven to a nearby home and shot. Walker was 17 at the time. He was one of 3 people charged in the incident. Walker's co-defendants were convicted and are doing time in prison. A Struthers man accused of dragging his girlfriend with his vehicle is scheduled to return to court for a preliminary hearing July 3rd. 45-year-old Nicholas Machar was arraigned today in Camel Municipal Court on charges of felonious assault and drug possession. Camel police responded to Trumbull Avenue and 14th Street Sunday night for a report of a woman struck by a vehicle. She said she was in an argument with Machar in his SUV, and he allegedly accelerated when she tried to get out. The woman was dragged and fell, and a tire ran over her foot. She was treated for minor injuries. Machar returned to the scene and was arrested after officers found prescription pills in the vehicle. 3 years in prison is the punishment handed down to a Warren man who pleaded guilty last month to 2 counts of unlawful sexual conduct with a minor. Trumbull County Common Pleas Judge Sean O'Brien sentenced 38-year-old Curtis McKellar today. He was given credit for 138 days in jail. McKellar must register as a Tier 2 sex offender. The charges resulted from an August 2024 incident. The girl's mother found her and McKellar in a sex act. The victim also said she had a previous sexual encounter with the man. History was made Monday night when Brenda Freeman was sworn in as police chief of Hubbard Township. She had been chosen in a unanimous vote of township trustees 2 weeks ago. Freeman becomes the first ever female police chief in Hubbard Township and in the history of Trumbull County. She began as a part-time officer in 2007 and moved to full-time status 3 years later. Freeman was elected president of FOP Lodge 132 in February 2024. It's 90 degrees in Alliance at 4:07. This is the local edition of WDPN News. The forecast is next, a service of Canterbury Villa of Alliance. I'm Jeff Mears.
This WDPN weather is brought to you by Canterbury Villa of Alliance, where your loved ones become family. Schedule a free visit today by calling 330-821-4000.
This afternoon's forecast calling for a 60% chance of showers and thunderstorms, otherwise partly sunny with a high near 88 degrees. Tonight, a chance of showers and thunderstorms in the evening and overnight. Patchy fog after about 3 a.m., otherwise mostly cloudy with a low around 71. For Thursday, showers and thunderstorms likely in the afternoon, partly sunny, a high of 88, chance of rain 60%. That's your WDPN weather.
Send your loved ones to a place that cares and a place that they can trust. They'll find a place that feels like home at Canterbury Villa in Alliance. They will provide the highest level of care to their residents when it comes to skilled nursing, rehabilitation, long-term care, and Alzheimer's care. At Canterbury Villa, your loved ones become family. Located on Freshley Avenue, schedule a free visit today by calling 330-821-4000 and ask for Samantha Nutter. At Canterbury Villa, they walk the talk.
Live from the AM 1310 WDPN studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball.
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM 1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
And a high fly ball to deep left center field. It's gone! A grand slam for George Springer. Center field. Down for a hit. De La Cruz scores and the Reds win.
1 out. And he hits an arm out to right center field, pretty deep. Rafael is back. It's over his head. It's off the wall. It might be a home run. Moore's racing on his way to third. The game is tied at least as Moore has a triple, and I think he's won it. Save it to the Red Sox.
With the first pick in the 2003 NBA draft, the Cleveland Cavaliers select LeBron James. With the first pick in the 2011 NBA draft, the Cleveland Cavaliers select Kyrie Irving from Duke University.
Oh, it is NBA draft night. Happy draft day, everybody. Not a lot of buzz going on right now, though. After Cooper Flag, it's like, huh? What? We're going to check in with Evan Dammarell from right down in Euclid coming up here in just a couple of minutes. We'll talk a little Cavs, a little NBA draft, a little NBA offseason. That's coming up here in just a few minutes. Let's kind of reset this bad boy. Welcome into the show, everybody. Sam Bourquin here. Ryan Rainsberg on the other side of the glass. This is the Wednesday edition of the Sam Bourquin Show. 330-821-1310 is our telephone number, 330-821-1310. You can always text the show at 330-924-7088. And don't forget, check us out on all of our social media platforms, which you are doing a great job of today. We appreciate you interacting with us today. AM 1310 WDPN on X, the WDPN Facebook page. You can also check us out there. And, of course, Q92 Radio page on YouTube. Share, like, follow, drop your comments, and we'll be in touch with you as we continue to roll along here on the program on a still a pretty hot Wednesday here in Northeast Ohio in the Carnation City of Alliance, which is hopping today. Took a little drive over to the Burger Hut today. Union was buzzing with traffic. Little construction. Oh yeah. Lots of stuff going on. All right. Our poll question of the day before we get to Evan. In today's world, what is the biggest racket? What's the biggest scam going on right now? And I gave you 4 choices. A, bottled water. B, gas prices. C, cable or satellite TV. Or D, health insurance. What's the biggest racket going on right now? 330-821-1310 or give us your comments on all of our social media platforms. All right, without any further ado, it's time to head right down Euclid. Let's bring him in. Evan Dammarell here to the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN on draft day. post OKC parade day and a couple of days after the NBA final was wrapped up. Evan, what's good today, my friend?
Not much. I'm just trying to stay cool. How are you doing?
Oh, we're doing the same. We're hydrating. We're hydrating and air conditioning over here. That's for sure. So a lot of different things I wanted to chop up with you here today. But first of all, let's start with the draft. And I cannot recall a draft in where I was like, oh, you mean the draft is happening tonight? Huh. I wasn't aware of that. And of course I am, but Evan, after Cooper Flagg, I mean, where's the buzz? Where's the let's talk NBA draft? What's going on?
I think it's really going to come down to pick number 3 because I believe Dylan Harper, he isn't saying anything. I think since the Spurs are such a buttoned up organization to begin with, but it's more or less a conclusion that he's going to go number 2 to San Antonio, which is a clunky but interesting fit because they have De'Aaron Fox and Stephon Castle on their roster, but they're rebuilding despite having Victor Wembanyama on their roster. So we'll see from there. But I think 3 is where things are really going to open up, and you really see the rumor mill starting to heat up a little bit, or just, a lot of chatter coming across the timeline, or however you want to say it. But there's rumors that the Philadelphia 76ers are trying to trade back and use Paul George as an option to trade out and maybe get like more draft capital to maybe rebuild around Embiid and what they're building there. But it's all like such a weird situation. And I think there's just so many teams that could be involved. I think Brooklyn is going to be a heavily involved team. They have 5 first-round picks tonight, which, to your point,
that's insane.
Becomes a little bit of an anomaly. But
right.
If you're a team like Cleveland, and this is according to Brian Windhorst, is looking to dump salary, and you look at a team like Brooklyn, perhaps you can pry one of those first-round picks out of them and you use that in a salary dump for an Isaac Okoro or a Dean Wade or something like that, which is unfortunate. I don't think you want to get rid of Wade if you're the Cavs, but if you can get a first-round pick that maybe can be a depth piece for you, or you can use it as a trade chip in another trade elsewhere, whether that's involving Darius Garland or Jared Allen. There's a lot of options here, but for teams like Cleveland, I think other teams, like you've seen the moves Boston's been making the last few days, Drew Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis. I think a lot of these teams that are in the second apron are going to be trying to make moves to get out of that spot, just so they have the freedom to make moves on the rest of their roster, just to try and improve. Because let's be frank, the Eastern Conference is wide open next year, and I think a lot of teams are going to try and gun for it.
No doubt. Evan Dammarell is our guest. Check him out right down Euclid on X. So let's kind of break down some of these not unbelievably monumental trades, but they did move the radar a little bit. Talked about the Celtics and sending Kristaps and a second-round pick to the Hawks and a 3-team deal with the Nets. Boston gets back the contract of Georges Niang at about $8.3 million. They get a second-rounder. And with that, they cleared $22 million off the Porzingis contract, which was at almost $31 million. So you can see what they're doing there. The Nets are going to take on the contract of Terrence Mann. That was one deal. We saw the C.J. McCollum deal yesterday with New Orleans and the Washington Wizards. Kyrie, it looks like he's going to re-up 3 years, $119 million with Dallas. What do you mean what do you make of some of these trades as far as not just the salary dumping and repositioning, but talent per talent between these teams? What do you make of those?
The talent for talent aspect is interesting, because when you look at Jordan Poole, I think he's a good player. I think he's a bucket getter. I think he's a guy who takes a lot of shots, and I think that's kind of not what the Wizards need right now. When you look at Washington, they're a team that's rebuilding, and I joked to my friend, and I posted on Twitter as well, like they have one of the most experienced benches in the NBA between McCollum, Marcus Smart, and Chris Middleton. Like they have a lot of adults in the room, as my former co-host Chris Manning would put it. And if you're a young team like Washington, you want guys with experience who have gone all the way, whether it's winning a championship if you're Middleton or if it's Smart or McCollum, guys who have been in the playoffs quite often throughout their career. So that's helpful for them. And then if you're New Orleans, you get a guy who is young, who can get you buckets, who can get you shots. Maybe he can be your quote-unquote co-guard of the future next to DeJounte Murray, and maybe Zion Williamson returns to form as well, and maybe Ves Missy. Like the Pelicans have a good situation, and they also have a top 10 pick tonight. So I think they'll be a little bit interesting too, and they're going to be an aggressive team no matter what, just because they just fired David Griffin. They are looking to kind of just not clean house necessarily, but, shuffle the board a little bit and maybe kind of see if they can retool this roster just to kind of make them more of a legitimate playoff threat, because frankly, the Pelicans are a disappointing team. They're much more talented than their record indicates. But look at that, or like I had talked about before, Boston really was making those moves to shed salary. If you're a team like Atlanta, getting Porzingis, if you're willing to take a gamble on his health, just because I think I read this earlier today, he hasn't played 71 games since his rookie season, which is, that would scare me if I was a general manager.
Oh, me too.
Willing to take that gamble. It could be worthwhile. He's a floor-spacing big man who would pair very nicely with Trae Young. He works very well in the pick and roll, and I think that makes a lot of sense there. And for Boston, ideally, like, you're just shedding salary. I think the Celtics have kind of made it clear that they aren't going to be actively contending this year. I mean, I think the latest rumor I saw is Jaylen Brown could be in the mix for the Utah Jazz in a trade. Like, they're looking to shed salary, and I think wait out this upcoming season with Jason Tatum sidelined after an Achilles injury and let him rehab fully, and then not look ahead in the next season, but the following season, and see how can we be aggressive. Maybe these slight younger players we pick up in these trades, like Ant Simons, become a huge difference maker for us long term as well. And I think that's an interesting thing. And if you look at just how the grand scope of the NBA is shaking out, I think it is going to be a lot of teams that are shedding salary, or in a case like Dallas, they are been in an unfortunate situation because Kyrie's probably going to be out for the better part of next season after that ACL tear. But they're obviously going to take Cooper Flagg first overall tonight.
Oh, sure.
That's not a surprise to anyone. But if you have Flagg, you have Davis, you eventually get Irving back, or maybe you find a stopgap answer at point guard. I know Chris Paul is a name that was mentioned in free agency, who I think would make sense. You kind of do that. So the Mavericks are doing well, extending Daniel Gafford, and they are trying to just kind of retain all their internal talent and kind of gamble on what they have in terms of just defense, and maybe just, such a dominant front court on paper between Flagg, Davis, Lively, Gafford. And then once Irving maybe gets back and he's healthy, that helps too. But for Washington, the big concern is just their coaching staff, just because Jason Kidd's in the mix for the Knicks job, and they're bleeding assistant coaches. Jared Dudley is actually joining the Cavs pretty soon, from what I've read and just heard myself. But we'll see what goes there. But in terms of tonight's draft, and I think just in terms of making moves in general, I think you're going to see teams that are maybe trying to make power moves, whether it's Houston going after Kevin Durant, which I think, is a bold trade for sure. You're getting a future Hall of Famer and one of the greatest scorers of all time. But you're going to be seeing teams that are shedding salary and maybe have to make difficult decisions on guys that have kind of become staples on their roster. And do we want to do what the Celtics did and say goodbye to Drew Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis, two integral pieces to their title run, and try to rebuild under this very, very tricky collective bargaining agreement the league has?
So with all this stuff going on and the unfortunate injuries to Halliburton, to Tatum, Dame Lillard, man, Evan, the door has got to be wide open for the Cavs. Not that these teams are all going to roll over, but I mean, if they don't get to the Eastern Conference Finals, I don't think I'm the only one who's going to be pounded on the table here at this point. So getting ready for that, and there are, several months before we start the season again, obviously. But what will the Cavaliers do? How serious, how close are they to moving a Darius Garland? We've heard talk about Wade. We've talked about Jerome, about Merrill, and some other guys. But obviously Darius Garland's the blue chip name there, Evan. Is he going to be on this roster next year?
I think that's an interesting question, because before today, when Brian Windhorst kind of not so subtly broke down how the reports that came out that the Cavs are in the mix for Kevin Durant came out. But since Garland had that toe surgery, I would have assumed that the market would have cooled on him. Teams would be like, okay, well, he's going to miss a good portion of the beginning of the season, I think probably October, good part of November, possibly December, if a team is just willing to be patient on him coming back. And I think you should, just because that recovery is probably going to be tough no matter what. But Brian Windhorst noted that the Suns approached the Cavs saying, hey, we'd like to acquire Darius Garland. And the Cavs replied more or less, well, they're offering Kevin Durant in this trade, and said, well, we want our first round pick back in 2029. And the Suns didn't hang up the phone, is what Windhorst said. Like they listened. And apparently Cleveland did their due diligence to maybe move some salary to possibly acquire Durant and multiple first round picks for Garland. So I think the asking price is there. Windhorse has noted as well that the Cavs are kind of getting lowballed. I think Terry Pluto said the same too, that teams are now kind of lowballing Cleveland because of Garland's injury, and I think that's to be expected. But I think it's just the status quo as before. Is like they're not actively shopping him. They're not calling up teams that maybe need a young all-star, two-time all-star point guard who has a lot of upside still in his game and saying, okay, well, what would you want for him, although he's sidelined for the start of the season. I think if a team calls, maybe makes like a dramatic offer like Phoenix did, like a Kevin Durant, which is certainly a needle mover. If I'm sure people have complaints about his age and maybe some of his injury concerns and whatnot, but it's Kevin Durant. I think you don't hang up the phone if you hear that phone call coming through, but you have to listen to those offers. And I think if you're the Cavs, you're looking for ways to keep this group together as best as you can, whether that means it's 3 of the core 4, or at least, God willing, it's Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley. I think those two are the 2 quote unquote untouchables on this roster, but I think the Cavs are going to do their due diligence. And I think with that little sprinkling that Brian Windhorst shared, and I did some back vetting on my own about the whole Phoenix situation, it's at least the Cavs are kind of taking an aggressive approach where they are leaving virtually no stone unturned, where I think if a player kind of becomes involved in conversations, they will, maybe they keep tabs on it if nothing materializes right now, maybe it's something that's closer to the season, or maybe it's closer to the trade deadline, what have you. But I think Cleveland is going to be aggressive. I think they are understanding of the idea that, at least on paper, they are heading into next season the best team in the Eastern Conference. You can make a case for the New York Knicks as well, but the Halliburton injury is brutal for Indiana, because he's the engine of their team. I think the Bucks are going to be fine with Giannis, but not having Dame certainly hurts them, and they are another team that's in the second apron, so they financially are kind of restricted too. So the options are there for other teams to maybe fill those gaps and kind of fill in the creases, whether it's Detroit or Orlando. But Cleveland has to kind of do whatever they can to maybe keep the rest of those teams arm's length away, and then also be ready to contend with a pretty loaded Western Conference, whether it's Oklahoma City who comes out again, or it's Memphis, or it's Houston, or maybe it's another surprise. Maybe Dallas somehow surprises us just because Cooper Flagg is really that generational of a talent in his game and his ability. But we'll have to really see what happens, and I'm just curious to see. But I think the Cavs are just going to maintain that aggressive approach, but they aren't going to be, tripping over themselves to break up this team, because they have a good roster. They have a good team. They know they have a good team, but if the right offer comes along, it would be remiss of them not to entertain it.
Interesting. Evan Dammarell, our guest. Evan, I appreciate the time as always. We'll see if something pops tonight here during the draft, and we'll hit you up here down the road. Some interesting times for a lot of teams, especially the Cleveland Cavaliers. Evan, I appreciate the time. Thanks again, man.
Of course, anytime. Thank you.
There he goes, Evan Dammarell. Check him out. Right down Euclid on Twitter. Should I call it? Should I call it right now? Cavs Magic in the Eastern Conference Finals next year. Don't laugh. Don't laugh. I'd rather play the Knicks and beat them, though. But you know what? I'm not putting us anywhere yet until I see some improvement on what? Mental toughness, physical toughness. I'm not putting us in anything right now. I can't. I'm not gonna let myself get ahead there like that. But thanks to Evan for joining us here on the Sam Bourquin Show and breaking down the NBA draft, some of the trades, and a little off-season Cleveland Cavaliers talk. By the way, 8 o'clock tonight. I thought it was 7. It's 8 o'clock tonight, the draft. And then they'll come back tomorrow night and do round 2. And that will also be at 8 p.m. The Sam Bourquin Show poll question of the day. In the world we live in right now, what is the biggest racket? What's the biggest scam? A, bottled water. B, gas prices. C, cable, satellite TV. Or D, health insurance. What do you say? 330-821-1310. You can also drop a comment on all of our 1310 WDPN social media platforms on Facebook, on Twitter, on X, and, of course, the Q92 radio page on YouTube. Well, right now, health insurance is leading the way, 69%. Cable TV at 23%. Gas prices at 7%. Bottled water comes in with 1%. But give us your vote and let us know how you feel on the biggest scam. What's the biggest racket going on right now? And we had a couple people text in about the cost of youth sports, the cost of youth travel sports. And yeah, yes, I've heard plenty of horror stories about that as well. But gas prices, you got to have gas, got to have it every day. Health insurance, you're rolling the dice if you don't have it. Cable, satellite TV, if you drop that, now you got to pay for all those apps. Those aren't free. And then bottled water. You know what? We quit. Remember we used to buy cases and cases, and I can't tell you how much money we used to spend on bottled water. And I loved it. No matter what brand it was, I would drink, I don't know how many a day. We would just crush cases of bottled water. Well, we finally wised up. We made some changes in the kitchen, got a new water system. We ended up getting a new refrigerator about a month and a half ago. We had to, our other one broke. Got the sweet new ice maker in there. I'm good. I don't need the bottled water anymore. I get this big 40-ounce cup out of the cupboard. I scoop it and fill it up with ice, and then I get the water. I'm good to go. No more bottled water. But I can't tell you how much money a week we spent on that stuff. We don't do it anymore. Come on, ice maker. Keep chugging, baby. All right. News and weather coming up here at the bottom of the hour. It's the Sam Bourquin Show. Hope you're having a good day, everybody. 1310 WDPN, streaming live all over the world. AM 1310, WDPN.com.
Here's the latest news on AM 1310, WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 4:30. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell has answered questions from lawmakers on Capitol Hill today and earlier this week about the central bank's decision-making. President Trump has been critical of the Fed's decision to not cut interest rates recently, but Powell told lawmakers that tariff uncertainty plays a large role in why the Fed is taking a wait-and-see approach. More from ABC's Alexis Christoforous.
Inflation, which continues to now moderate, the job market, which is still hanging on but showing signs of slowing down. He said that atmosphere would have been perfect for an interest rate cut, but all of the uncertainty presented by the tariffs are now making that an open question mark. The next time the Fed meets, by the way, the end of July, so we're going to get a few other important pieces of data, including a new jobs report and another inflation report before then.
President Trump is standing by his claim that the U.S. strikes on 3 nuclear sites in Iran completely destroyed that country's nuclear capabilities. Iran's foreign ministry spokesman says the sites were badly damaged, but it's not clear how damaged those sites really were. Sources tell ABC News it may be too early to know for sure, and an initial report from the U.S. intelligence community suggested that the strikes may have set back Iran's nuclear program by a handful of months. Still, the president, during a news conference after the NATO summit today, compared the U.S. strike to the atomic bombings in Japan in 1945.
Somebody said in a certain way, that it was so devastating, actually. If you look at Hiroshima, if you look at Nagasaki, that ended a war too. This ended a war in a different way, but it was so devastating.
The fragile ceasefire between Israel and Iran appears to be holding, and President Trump has asserted that U.S. and Iranian officials will talk next week. The ceasefire gives rise to cautious hope for longer-term peace, even as Tehran insisted today it will not give up its nuclear program. Iran has not acknowledged any talks taking place next week, and an Iranian official questioned whether the United States could be trusted after its weekend attack on Iranian nuclear sites. An American Airlines plane is safely back on the ground after some scary moments during takeoff from Las Vegas this morning. ABC's Alex Stone has details.
The American Airlines Airbus A321 heading to Charlotte was lifting off from Harry Reid International Airport in Las Vegas, and as it flew low over the area, witnesses could see the right engine with flames and smoke coming out, the sounds of booms and pops coming from the plane. The landing gear remained down as the plane circled around and landed back in Las Vegas. The FAA says the pilots reported an engine issue and it will investigate. Alex Stone, ABC News.
It's 89 degrees in Alliance at 4:32. This is WDPN News. I'm Jeff Mears.
Now, the Alliance Area Weather Forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
The weather forecast calling for showers and thunderstorms likely this afternoon. Partly sunny with a high around 88. Chance of rain 60% for tonight. Chance of showers and thunderstorms this evening. A slight chance overnight. Patchy fog after about 3 a.m. Otherwise, mostly cloudy, a low 71. That's your WDPN weather.
At Hunter Lift in North Lima, we're looking forward to seeing those graduation caps flying high. Start thinking about what to accomplish next. Now is the time to build your future and seize the day. The sky's the limit. The future is filled with opportunities to learn, to grow, and fulfill your dreams. This message from Hunter Lift on South Avenue in North Lima. Specialists in below-the-hook lifting devices and material handling solutions. Call 330-549-3347.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-498-2098 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as one day. Just dial 1-800-498-2098 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-498-2098 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
You're listening to the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
Welcome back, everybody. 4:35 on your Wednesday. Boy, the clouds over here in Alliance are darkening again. I went out to the lobby. I looked outside. I looked up and I said, oh, man, should I go grab my keys? Should I go back and get them and run out there real quick and put the wind? No. Don't. I promise, Lord. At 5 o'clock, I will go out and I will roll my windows up.
Okay.
I just
Rule
didn't
number
do
one.
it.
You never
Welcome
saw me
back,
like
everybody.
this.
Hope you're having a great day. Appreciate you coming on board here, the Sam Bourquin Show, Monday through Friday, 3 until 6 p.m. on AM 1310 WDPN. As mentioned, don't forget to check us out on our social media platforms on WDPN Twitter, X, whichever you prefer, on the Facebook page, and, of course, Q92 radio page on YouTube. Thanks to Evan Dammarell from right down Euclid for talking a little Cavs and a little NBA draft here on the program. Coming up at 5:27 today, another edition of On This Day in Sports History. The Blue Jays and the Guardians tonight. Game 2 of that 3-game series. I hope my friends out there that like to play took my advice yesterday. Hopefully you took that baby over the total of 9.5 last night. There was a lot of runs at the ballpark. And I looked at both pitchers. I looked at the lineups, a lot of righty on lefty, lefty on righty. It was very humid. There was no breeze last night. The ball was carrying. The Guardians had just come off of a 9-game road trip. I knew for once in my life, I knew what was going to happen before it happened. So hopefully you took advantage of that and put a couple nickels in your pocket, because that baby flew over last night. 10-6, the score. Toronto over the Guardians. So Guards got to get it together now. 39-38. The Blue Jays are now 42-36. How about Toronto? They are slowly creeping up the East. They are only 2.5 behind the New York Yankees. They're only 1.5 behind Tampa. Blue Jays aren't messing around. They got George Springer. They got some players. They got Vladdy. They got some guys that can play. They really do. But last night was not the Guardians' night, and the skipper didn't sound particularly happy afterward. Let's go back and pick up some of the media availability last night. Coach, head coach, the skipper, the manager, Stephen Vogt, after last night's Guardians loss to the Jays at Progressive Field.
What'd you think of Lane tonight?
I thought, Logan came out a little bit sluggish at the first. They jumped him right away. Didn't quite have his command in the first inning, and they jumped him for 2. But I thought after that, Logan got locked in and was really good. Threw a ton of strikes. Weak contact gave us a chance. We had a couple opportunities early, weren't quite able to cash in, but made a great comeback, and they kind of took it away. But I thought Logan, after the first inning, I thought he was outstanding.
What did Lauer do so well early on against you guys?
It looked like I haven't seen any replays, but it looked like from the side the curveball really got us slowed up. The fastball has a lot of sneaky life. The metrics it doesn't show up on the numbers, but from the side you could see it's got some jump, it's got some life. He was hitting the top rail with his slider. He just was pitching. We just couldn't seem to get that big hit. When we did get stuff going, we couldn't get a whole lot going off of him. But tip your cap.
What do you think of the fight you guys had in getting back into the game?
Yeah, we don't quit. Great to see Lane and Manzo and Carlos, drive one out of the ballpark. Jonesy with a great swing off the bench. There's a lot of highlights from tonight. Just unfortunately, they scored a lot more runs than we did.
How important is it for you going forward for Lane to have a night like you do?
Yeah, it's huge. Anytime our guys are getting multiple hits, they're hitting multiple balls hard, they're getting working walks. It was great. I thought we came out sluggish tonight. I thought it looked like we had a West Coast trip, and we just didn't look like ourselves today. It was hot. Those are all excuses. We need to be better. But we just didn't look like ourselves all night tonight.
Heading into the game, you guys had 50 errors on the year. You had 3 tonight. I know defense was such a staple for you guys last year. How do you get back into what you guys did?
We've been playing great defense. We've had a couple games lately with a couple errors, but we've been playing great defense. Our guys, these are one-offs. We play solid defense. That's who we are. So I don't get too concerned over the errors because they seem to be clumped together in games. But obviously it's not like us to make those mistakes and give teams extra bases. Walks and errors have killed us. They have. And we know that. We're working on it. But that's why we are who we are. We're going to show up tomorrow ready to go. We got this one out of our way. I think our guys are going to show up real hungry, come out and play with some fight tomorrow.
What do you think of Gaddis tonight? We've seen him get through those situations so many times this year.
Yeah, I think, obviously with Gaddy, that was not his cleanest inning. We get the great play, and then the walk to Kirk, and then he just didn't get the fastball up to Springer. He, 2 fastballs, him and Springer, that he didn't get up, and there were 2 of the hits. So Gaddy's been phenomenal all year. He's going to be right back out there the next time his situation pops up. In a down game, it's a little different. They were able to get some runs, and then obviously Springer hit the mistake.
All right, there was Stephen Vogt, some of his press conference after the Guardians fell to the Blue Jays last night by the score of 10-6. And Logan Allen just didn't have it. Didn't have it last night. Remember we talked yesterday. His I'm trying to remember, was it 50 strikeouts and 30 walks or maybe something like? And I'm like, man, you can't keep doing that. You can't keep having numbers like that. And hey, take nothing away from the Blue Jays. That is a torrid lineup. I would not be surprised at all if they catch the Yankees and win the division. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Usually with Toronto, they can hit the heck out of the ball, but they can't pitch it. Now, tonight you're going to see Kevin Guzman, who he's been around a little bit, played a lot of years with the Orioles, and then he's been with the Blue Jays. He may have been with the Rangers for a cup of coffee. He is 5-6 with a 4.61 earned run average. Gavin Williams goes tonight. He is, nope, I take that back. There's no Kevin Guzman. This thing just switched right in front of my eyes. It now says Max Scherzer is going to get the start tonight for Toronto. No wins, no losses, and a 6.00 earned run average. Big Gavin Williams going tonight. Gavin 5-3 and a 3.98 earned run average. 8.5 the total tonight. The Guardians a slight favorite at -125. Max Scherzer. How many stickers on that suitcase? How many teams has he played for? You know, some guys you think are just going to stay with their team forever. Like, I thought Max Scherzer was going to be a Detroit Tiger for life. I really did. He has bounced everywhere. Now, he's still got it, but he seems to get hurt almost every year. The best ability is availability. He has not been available a lot of times. And he has signed some pretty monstrous contracts over the years. Washington, the Mets, the Rangers. Now he's with the Blue Jays. Of course, he started with Detroit. Was he with the Astros too at one point? I can't remember. But he's still out there doing it. So Williams and Scherzer, the pitching matchup tonight, and the first pitch at 6:40. Hey, there are some games going on in the bigs today right now. Top two, the Red Sox lead the Angels 2-0. Top three, Padres over the Nationals by the score of 1-0. Anybody play already today? Yep, Brewers beat the Pirates 4-2. I want to go back to that game in a minute. The White Sox, boy, throw a party in Chicago. White Sox beat the Diamondbacks today by the score of 7-3. I want to go back to that Pirates game today. They fell to the Brewers 4-2. The game was in Milwaukee. Paul Skeens, he got lit up today. The pitching line for Paul Skeens, 4 innings, 4 runs, 4 earned, 4 hits, 4 strikeouts, 2 walks. Now, here's the deal, though. The Brewers got all their runs in the 4th inning. They got them all in the 4th inning. And then they didn't score again, which is bizarre because they took Skeens out after the 4th inning. I didn't see anything about an injury. I didn't see a crazy pitch count. So he goes 4 innings. He gives up the 4 in the 2nd inning. They couldn't touch him, but the Pirates took him out of the game. So 4-2 Milwaukee over Pittsburgh as the Brewers pick up their 45th win of the season. So a couple of getaway games, and there's a couple of getaway games tomorrow. The Tigers and the A's will play tomorrow afternoon. Mariners and Twins tomorrow. Phils and Stros tomorrow. Rays, Royals tomorrow afternoon. Everybody plays tomorrow afternoon except the Mets and Braves. That's a 7:00 first pitch tomorrow night. Jays and Guards tomorrow. That's an afternoon game at 1:10. There's Guzman. There he is. He's going to pitch tomorrow. Tomorrow's pitching matchup is Kevin Guzman and Tanner Bybee. So that's the scoop here as far as Major League Baseball is concerned. I want to kind of shuffle on back to the NBA. And if you've heard, our show opens today at 3:00, maybe 4:00. And if you hang around, you come back at 5:00, you'll hear the draft audio. The year the Cavaliers drafted Kyrie Irving out of Duke. The year, obviously, the Cavaliers took LeBron James out of St. Vincent St. Mary. And I thought about today playing some of the stinkers, but I just didn't want to. I didn't want to hear the commissioner calling Anthony Bennett's name for the Cavaliers. I just didn't want to do that. I didn't want to do it. So we kept it positive. I just said, we're just going to do Kyrie. We're going to do LeBron. Okay? That's what we're going to do. So let's go back to 2003. And it's the NBA draft lottery. And we remember what happened there. Now, there have been a lot of stories about the NBA draft lottery. We always talk, at least I do once a year, on a show, if I'm hosting that particular year, about the frozen envelope in 1985. The Knicks stealing that draft lottery and picked up Patrick Ewing. And I still can hear Pat O'Brien from CBS. Basketball is back at Madison Square Garden in New York City. And everybody kind of, I wonder how that happened. That was awfully convenient. And then you fast forward to 2003. And I remember I was at home. Where was I? Can't remember where I was living in 2003. Anyhow, and I'm thinking, we gonna win the draft this year? We're gonna win the lottery. The year LeBron came out, I couldn't believe we won the lottery. Like, look, if that was fixed or rigged, I don't want to know. I don't even want to hear about it. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I don't want to know. But I've always thought about, if that didn't happen, if we didn't win the NBA draft lottery, where would the Cavaliers be? Would we have a championship by now? Would we have had multiple 60-plus win seasons? Would downtown Cleveland be as vibrant as it is today if LeBron had never walked through the halls the first time, the second time? Who knows? You might come back again. What if we don't win that lottery? What if we don't have LeBron James? The wind of the city would have got sucked right out that night, even before the draft, because we were all banking, we were all hoping we were going to get him. We were all hoping we were going to get him. And we did. And I remember, I think it was Gordon Gund. Gordon, I think, was at the draft lottery. He was the Cavaliers representative. That's right. I remember where I was now. I was living on Cleveland Avenue at the time, around 48th and Cleveland Avenue. And I think I had a couple of friends over, and we were watching the lottery. And every card that was pulled, every team logo that was pulled, I thought, oh my God. Oh, we're going to get close. And then we got down to the top three. What do? They took a commercial break. Now I'm going insane. I'm pacing up and down the floor. I had a little patio, a little lookout. So I went out there. I looked around. I'm staring up in the sky going, come on. I go back in, and we're sitting there. We turned the volume up a little bit. And then, well, you know what? Let's go back and listen to it, right? Let's enjoy the drama together.
The Deputy Commissioner of the NBA. Okay, thanks again, Mike. Now let's find out the real big winners tonight. The third pick goes to the Denver Nuggets.
That means Cleveland or Memphis get number one.
The second pick goes to the Memphis Grizzlies. And that means that the first pick in the 2003 NBA draft goes to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Congratulations, Gordon.
Oh, keep that running.
So, well, the odds. That'll work. That's great. That's so terrific.
Thank you. A couple of very different stories working here, Mr. Gunn. Congratulations.
Thank you.
With LeBron James being from Akron, Ohio, I'm sure there has to be a lot of excitement in the organization.
You know, we don't know who we're going to pick yet.
But at least there's somebody who you can just drive over and check out if you'd like, right?
Yes, I'm very glad about that. I'm very excited for the fans in Cleveland. This is a great day for them and for all of that market, for Akron, Cleveland, all of northeastern Ohio. tremendously excited about it. A big day in Cleveland sports.
Well, congratulations, Mr. Gund, and we wish you guys the best of luck. Gordon
Thank you,
Gund,
Mike. Thanks.
the owner of the Cleveland Cavaliers, and that Memphis pick now goes to the Detroit Pistons. So Detroit ends up a big winner here as well, as they get the number 2 overall selection in the 2003 NBA draft. Back to wrap it up and get you ready for Game 3 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Nets and Pistons coming up next on ABC.
Baby.
First, the GMC professional
baby.
grade.
And you remember what the Pistons did, right? They've selected Darko Milicic with the second-round pick. What a complete disaster that turned out to be. We got LeBron, and all was well with the world. Man, I hope they didn't rig that. I don't think they did. It worked out for us, didn't it? I still can't believe it. And then we would go on to win a couple of more of the draft lotteries. The year we got Kyrie, we won the lottery. And the year we picked Anthony Bennett from UNLV, the guy had asthma, and we didn't even know it. What a disaster. But we got LeBron, and the rest is history. 6 minutes till the top of the hour. We'll take a break. We'll come back with more. Stay with us. The Sam Bourquin Show on a Wednesday, 1310 WDPN.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Achieving this takes skill and expertise. They're tireless explorers, creatively discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, experimenting, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other. Leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org, a campaign supported by the U.S. Department of Education, teach.org, and 1 million teachers of color.
Get on board. The water is open. It's time to go boating and fishing and leave stress in our wake. Feel the wind as we ride and a fish on the line. Reel in our first catch and feel the sun at our backs. It's get out on the water season. It's time to get on board. Find out where to get on board near you. Visit Take Me Fishing and Discover Boating to learn more. And please recreate responsibly. Get on board. Get on board.
This place has a pulse. You hear it in the canopy, feel it in the ground. Life, fully illuminated, engulfs you. From the birds singing in the treetops above to the tiniest insects in the soil below, you take a deep, cleansing breath, filling your lungs with the essence of the forest. Now, imagine it's all gone. Healthy, life-giving forests reduced to nothing. No singing birds, no lush canopy, and water and food in short supply around the world. Time is running out to protect our forests, and without our love, they can and will disappear. It's our choice. Love it or lose it. Help protect our forests. Visit World Wildlife Fund at wwf.org/love.
This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
All right, well, it happened. I should have rolled the windows up. I should have rolled them up at the break at 4:30. It is absolutely a torrential downpour here in Alliance right now. I'm soaked. Shirt, hat, shorts, shoes, the whole 9 yards. I had to go out and had to put them up. I couldn't wait another minute. Of course, I'm huffing and puffing out of breath. Look, you can see on camera, I'm soaked. Absolutely soaking wet. Well, at least the car mats got cleaned. That's the good news, right? 330-821-1310 is our telephone number. 330-821-1310. I'll save the curse words for during the break. Our Sam Bourquin Show poll question of the day. In this world today that we're living in right now, this day, what's the biggest racket? What's the biggest scam I gave you 4 choices to pick from. A, bottled water. B, gas prices. C, cable or satellite TV. Or D, health insurance. What do you think? What's the biggest racket going on right now? Health insurance is kind of leading the way at just about almost 70%. Gas prices are coming in pretty close. Cable, satellite TV. A few people saying bottled water. Not many. Just a few. I forget. I think it was Peggy on one of the Facebook pages. She said she actually buys bottled water for her dog. But nobody else in the house. They drink tap water. The dog gets bottled water. Now that's a lucky pooch right there. Rich down in Columbus listening in. Rich, by the way, is an usher for the Ohio State football games at Ohio Stadium. Rich, thanks for listening today. He says, all of the above, Sam. Every one of them is a scam. Michael Gifford says, Sam, great show. Again, A, B, C, and D. Health insurance and any insurance in general is nothing but a scam. Mitch says health insurance, not even close. Sue Bala and Wayne and Donna and George all say gas prices. Heidi says health insurance. Brian Steffi, hope you're well, Brian, says the health insurance. Elizabeth, all of the above, Sam. Christopher says all of the above. Chris, I hope you're well. Dan Winger, healthcare, 100%.
We have Doug on YouTube says cable all day.
Yep. Yeah, they got you there too. We have had DirecTV now for, let me do some quick math here. I'll get the break coming up. I think we've had DirecTV, I think probably for, I'm going to say almost 10 years, because we were Warner or Time Warner or whatever for the longest time. Then we went to AT&T Uverse. They were kind of new to the area, and I think they just priced us out. We were with them for 2 years. I think we did the 2-year agreement, and the prices just were insane, and we stopped. And then we went to DirecTV, and we've been with them since. We've talked about cutting. We've talked about cutting the cord for years, but we just haven't done it. And we've got smart TVs with apps and this and that and the other, but we're still hanging on. We're still hanging on. All right. The wait is over. Your news and weather and more is coming up next here on 1310 WDPN.
An Alliance tradition for over half a century. You can always count on WDPN Alliance.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. President Trump, before leaving the NATO summit, says he's confident the ceasefire between Israel and Iran will hold. He also says he had a good meeting with Ukraine's President Zelensky on the sidelines and hasn't ruled out sending more air defense missiles. The president acknowledging peace talks between Ukraine and Russia has been more challenging.
Vladimir Putin has been more difficult. Frankly, I had some problems with Zelensky. You may have read about him. And it's been more difficult than other wars. I mean, look, we just ended a war in 12 days that was simmering for 30 years, frankly.
In Tennessee, the Maryland man the White House says was mistakenly sent to a prison in El Salvador and then returned to the U.S. appears in court today. A federal judge ordered Kilmar Abrego Garcia be released pending his federal trial on human smuggling charges. He'll likely be detained by immigration. A newly formed CDC vaccine advisory panel meeting today and tomorrow to discuss fall vaccine recommendations. Their first gathering after Health and Human Services Secretary RFK Jr. replaced them. This is ABC News.
Macy's lowest prices of the summer on furniture and mattresses are here, which means you'll find great July 4th deals now on beautiful home updates, like the 7-piece Whitburn outdoor dining set, $19.99. Customer favorites like the Radley sectional, now $21.79. And 20 to 65% off top mattress brands like Sealy. And with Macy's white glove delivery, we'll set it all up and whisk away all that packaging too. But hurry in. These summer deals are going on now at Macy's. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
The Peace Lily is so last year. Hey, has anyone worked with fiddlenecks?
Shelby's popular flower shop is in full bloom.
We just got a request for an arrangement that evokes air. Who's up for that challenge? No?
She needs to hire a floral designer to nip foliage faux pas in the bud.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our advanced matching helps find talented candidates so you can connect with them fast. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Now, the latest Alliance area news from Jeff Mears on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon, it's 5:02. This news is a service of Bonfort Glass. Unemployment is down slightly in Stark County. Ohio Job and Family Services reports the May jobless rate was 4.8%. It was 5.2% the previous month and 4.8% in May 2024. In Carroll County, unemployment declined to 4.9%. It was down to 5.1% in Columbiana County and dipped to 5.3% in Mahoning County. Portage County's rate fell to 4.6%. Ohio's figure was unchanged at 4.9%. A gas station in Canton is temporarily closed after a vehicle crashed into it. Fire Battalion Chief Steve Henderson says the incident occurred in the 1700 block of Cleveland Avenue Northwest around 10:45 this morning. A woman driving an SUV backed into a post outside the Marathon. She panicked and hit the gas. The vehicle was driven into the store, doing significant damage. There were no injuries. 2 people are dead following a crash in Sandy Township Tuesday night. The Highway Patrol says a motorcycle operated by 53-year-old Richard Townsend of Magnolia was northbound on Route 43 just before midnight when it collided with a southbound vehicle driven by an 89-year-old Waynesburg man. Townsend and a passenger, 48-year-old Jennifer Byers of Navarre, were pronounced dead at the scene. Neither was wearing a helmet. The other driver was not injured. The patrol continues to investigate. Authorities are searching for 2 missing people. The Stark County Sheriff's Office says 14-year-old Anna Lisa Taylor was last seen Tuesday night around 11:45 in the 8800 block of Mapledale Avenue Southeast in Waynesburg. She left in an unknown direction. Taylor is 5'8", weighs about 165 pounds, and has brown hair and eyes. Anyone with information is asked to call the Sheriff's Office at 330-430-3800. Meanwhile, Perry Township Police say 48-year-old Chad Poland was last seen walking away from his home in the Perry Hills Colony Apartments around 6:22 Thursday morning. He is a disabled veteran and requires medication. Poland may be driving a blue 2016 Honda Accord with Ohio license plate EVJ2737. Anyone with information on his whereabouts should call Perry Township Police at 330-478-5121. A 10-month sentence for a Monroe Falls man found guilty of trying to buy sex from a person he believed was a 15-year-old girl. 51-year-old Daniel Hosick was arrested last August by agents with the Mahoning Valley Human Trafficking Task Force and Salem Police. He was convicted of attempted unlawful sexual conduct with a minor and possessing criminal tools. Other charges were dismissed. Hosick will be on probation for 5 years after his release. The Mahoning County Sheriff's Office is seeking help from the public in their investigation of a shooting in Craig Beach. It happened Sunday around 9 p.m. There were no injuries, but a business was damaged by gunfire. The Sheriff's Office released pictures of the shooting captured by a security camera. Anyone with information is advised to call the Sheriff's Office at 330-480-5051. Anonymous tips can be submitted to the Greater Mahoning Valley Crime Stoppers at 330-746-2583. A man is sentenced for his role in a fatal shooting in Youngstown. 20-year-old Jacoby Walker was handed 8 to 10.5 years in prison today by Mahoning County Common Pleas Judge Anthony Dapolito. He pleaded guilty last month to a count of involuntary manslaughter with a gun specification. Walker was one of 3 people charged for their involvement in the January 2022 slaying of 22-year-old Isaiah Helms. Walker was 17 when the crime occurred. Helms was found shot to death at a Liberty Road cemetery. Prosecutors say he was lured to a car driven to a nearby home where he was shot. Walker's 2 co-defendants are serving prison time for their part in the incident. A woman charged with aggravated assault in connection with a stabbing in Youngstown has pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity. Police arrested 28-year-old Celito Matos of Youngstown following an investigation into the incident on East Denick Avenue. She allegedly stabbed a neighbor in his home last July. Police say Matos had been institutionalized in the past and was suffering from mental illness. On Tuesday, she asked Mahoning County Common Pleas Judge Anthony D'Onofrio to order an examination of her mental condition at the time of the incident. A man charged with felonious assault and drug possession in an incident in Camel has made an initial court appearance. Arraigned today in Camel Municipal Court was 45-year-old Nicholas Mashar of Struthers. Camel police were called to Trumbull Avenue and 14th Street for a report of a woman hit by a vehicle Sunday night. She told officers she was in an argument with Mashar in his SUV when she attempted to get out of the vehicle. He allegedly accelerated and the woman was dragged. She fell and a tire ran over her foot. The woman was treated for minor injuries. Police say Mashar returned and was arrested when they found prescription pills in the vehicle. He is scheduled to return to court for a preliminary hearing July 3rd. A Warren man is headed to prison for having sex with a 15-year-old girl. 38-year-old Curtis McKellar was sentenced today by Trumbull County Common Pleas Judge Sean O'Brien to 3 years behind bars. He pleaded guilty in April to 2 counts of unlawful sexual conduct with a minor. The charges stem from an August 2024 incident in which the girl's mother found her and McKellar in a sex act. The victim also said she had a prior sexual encounter with the man. McKellar must register as a Tier 2 sex offender. He was given credit for 138 days in jail. The first female police chief in Hubbard Township took the oath of office. Brenda Freeman was sworn in Monday night. She was chosen in a unanimous vote of township trustees 2 weeks ago. Freeman started as a part-time officer in the department in 2007 and moved to full-time 3 years later. She was elected president of FOP Lodge 132 in February 2024. Freeman is also the first female police chief in the history of Trumbull County. Search teams recovered the body of a swimmer who went missing at Portage Lakes State Park Tuesday. Witnesses said the man was in the designated swimming area when he went underwater but did not resurface. According to the New Franklin Fire Department, divers found the man's body around 6:45 p.m. in 10 feet of water, about 150 feet from the shore. He was pronounced dead at the scene. The Ohio Department of Natural Resources said an autopsy will be performed. Ohio plans a swift appeal of a decision declaring the state's private school voucher system unconstitutional. Franklin County Common Pleas Judge Jazat Page found Tuesday that the Ed Choice program violates Ohio's constitutional requirement for a thorough and efficient system of common schools. The ruling was celebrated by the over 100 public school districts that had joined the 2022 lawsuit. The Ohio Christian Education Network said Page ignored mountains of previous school choice jurisprudence at both the state and federal levels. Attorney General Dave Yost expressed confidence Ohio can win on appeal. Ed Choice remains operational as the lawsuit continues. Former Ohio Supreme Court Justice Bill O'Neill has announced plans to run for the Northeast Ohio congressional seat held by Republican Dave Joyce. The 78-year-old Democrat said today he is coming out of retirement because he can't sit idly by as my government falls apart. O'Neill says Joyce is a nice guy, but he needs to answer for his votes in favor of President Trump's agenda and the government-cutting actions of billionaire Elon Musk. The U.S. Army veteran, registered nurse, and former appellate judge served on the Ohio Supreme Court from 2013 to 2018. Taking a look at Wall Street, the Dow Jones Industrial Average closed today at 42,982, down 107 points. The Nasdaq Composite ended the day 61 points higher at 19,973. And the S&P 500 closed at 6,092, down a fraction of a point. It's 76 degrees in Alliance at 5:09. This is the local edition of WDPN News, a service of Bonfort Glass. I'm Jeff Mears.
When man's best friend chases the family cat through the window screen, you need a rapid repair from Bonfort Glass. In warmer weather, accidents can happen. When a hole in your window or door screen is keeping you from enjoying the fresh air, take that torn screen to Bonfort's for a speedy, expert repair. You think of Bonfort's for glass repair, but don't forget, they can take care of just about any problem you may have with a window or door, including screens. If your screens are old, worn, corroded, or torn, bring them into Bonfort Glass and Alliance. Replace those shabby old screens with new aluminum or fiberglass ones that will wear better and last longer. Bonfort's experts give you the quality you can depend on and service that's unsurpassed. So even if your best pal chased the cat through the window screen, just take it to Bonfort's for a rapid repair. For all your glass and window needs, rely on Bonfort Glass, 30 South Union Avenue in Alliance.
Here's the latest forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
Showers and thunderstorms are in the forecast for this afternoon. Otherwise, partly sunny, a high near 88. Chance of rain, 60%. Slight chance of showers and thunderstorms tonight and overnight. Patchy fog after about 3 a.m. Otherwise, mostly cloudy, a low 71. For Thursday, showers and thunderstorms likely in the afternoon. Otherwise, partly sunny, a high near 88. Chance of rain, 60%. That's your WDPN weather.
Live from the AM 1310 WDPN studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball.
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM 1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
And a high fly ball to deep left center field. It's gone! A grand slam for George Springer. Center field. Down for a hit. De La Cruz scores and the Reds win.
1 out. And he hits it hard out to right center field, pretty deep. Rafael is back. It's over his head. It's off the wall. It might be a home run. Moore's racing on his way to third. The game is tied at least as Moore has a triple, and I think he's won it. Save it to the Red Sox.
With the first pick in the 2003 NBA draft, the Cleveland Cavaliers select LeBron James. With the first pick in the 2011 NBA draft, the Cleveland Cavaliers select Kyrie Irving from Duke University.
A couple of pretty good moments there for Cavs fans, right? LeBron James out of St. Vincent St. Mary, Kyrie out of Duke. I believe we went on to win a title, didn't we, with the Cavs? Yes, we most certainly did. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show. Hope your Wednesday is good. 330-821-1310. The number to call, 330-821-1310. Don't forget, check us out on all of our social media platforms with WDPN on Facebook, on Twitter, X, and of course, you can watch and listen and drop comments everywhere, as well as the Q92 Radio page on YouTube. How we doing, everybody? Hope you are well. I just had to, if you're just joining us here for the first time today, welcome. Hope you're having a great day. Hope you have an even better night. I flirted with Mother Nature 3 times today. I shouldn't say flirted with. I flirted with Mother Nature's danger, and I finally got burned. 3 different times today. I had a chance to go out and roll my windows up. 3. Didn't do it. And last time I got burned. So I had to run out there about 15, 20 minutes ago. I'm a little bit dried up now a little bit, but I was drenched. Car was wet. The mats, the dash, the seats. I have to wipe it down when I get done here, but if you're out today, please be careful. We've had just quick downpours. They last about 3, 4, 5 minutes, and they just disappear. But we'll probably get a couple more hit and miss the rest of the day. We're with you until 6 o'clock tonight. Don't forget, we are with you Monday through Friday, 3 until 6, right here on this spot, 1310 WDPN. Spread the word. Tell your friends, your family, your colleagues. And don't forget, you can get us all over the world. We're never out of range at AM1310WDPN.com. Guardians and Blue Jays tonight. Game 3 of a 3-game series. Guards on the short end yesterday, 10-6. They'll try to even things up tonight. Gavin Williams and Max Scherzer, the pitching matchup tonight. That could be fun. I don't know if we'll have 16 runs like we did last night. And those of you, I hope you took advantage of the Sammy B advice last night on the over. Hope you did that. Don't forget, afternoon ball tomorrow, 1:10, Guards Jays. And then a different bird comes to town. We go from Blue Jays to Cardinals. They'll be here Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. NBA draft is taking place tonight. Cavs don't have a pick until almost the end of the second round. So I don't know if there's going to be a lot of drama and a lot of nail biting going on tonight for us. We know there won't be any drama for the first pick. We know Cooper Flagg is going to Dallas. So he'll go from Blue Devil to Maverick. Okay? And then we'll see what happens after that. No crazy trades today. We had a couple on Monday. We had a couple Tuesday. C.J. McCollum, former Glen Oak Golden Eagle and Lehigh Engineer, is on the move again. He will now be playing hoops for the Washington Wizards. Boy, it's hard to believe C.J.'s been in the NBA as long as he has. Boy, he's done a great job. Got a couple of really nice contracts. And I mean, hey, living a good life. Good for C.J. We look back at a couple of NBA draft lotteries earlier today. The year The Cavs won the lottery. They picked LeBron James. The year we won the lottery, we took Kyrie Irving. Two really cool moments in our basketball history. But it's fun. It's fun to see the kids get dressed up and, with their friends and family and significant others around. And it's cool. It's still cool. It's a big night. It's the bright lights. It's the NBA draft. A lot of these guys, this is what they've always wanted to do. This is why somebody just ran down the hall like they were being chased. I hope everything is okay. Maybe somebody else left their windows down. I did. I don't know. But the NBA draft is still it's still pretty cool. That'll be 8:00 tonight. Round 1 tonight. They'll do round 2 tomorrow night again at 8 p.m. I want to thank Evan Dammarell from right down Euclid. He joined us in the 4:00 hour to break down the draft and the Cavs and the Cavs offseason, some of the NBA trades. We appreciate Evan coming on board as well. The Sam Bourquin Show poll question of the day. Been another good one today. Got to tell you. Here goes. In today's world, right now, what is the biggest racket going? What's the biggest scam going on right now? I gave you 4 choices, and they are as follows. A, bottled water. B, gas prices. C, cable and satellite TV. D, health insurance. What do you say? What's the biggest racket going right now for you? Is it bottled water, gas prices, cable TV, health insurance? 821-1310 is our number. 330-821-1310. You can also drop some comments on all of our social media platforms with 1310 WDPN and the Q92 radio page on the YouTube channel. I understand we got a couple of folks on YouTube saying what's up and hello over there, Ryan. So we appreciate those folks listening and reaching out.
We've got Doug over here says, what's up, Sammy B? And Joey also says, what is up?
All right, man.
So,
hey, Doug, Joey, hope you're having a good day, and thanks for hanging out with us here.
We appreciate you watching from YouTube.
That's right. Good numbers today. Good numbers today on YouTube and X and Facebook. People dialed into the live stream. Of course, we appreciate all the people listening on good old terrestrial radio, too, at 1310 WDPN. So I look at this list, and I ask myself, on a daily basis, look, you got to drink water every day. You use gas for your car every day, unless you have an electric car. You probably watch some sort of television, satellite, stream, whatever. And most, you have to have health insurance. You got to pay for it. So these all affect us every day in our life. Drinking water, pumping gas, using cable, using your health insurance. But what is the one where they just got you by the you-know-whats? What's the biggest, it just irritates you. Like you got to write that payment out, or you got to have that payment deducted out of your account. I almost said write a check. I don't know. When's the last time you wrote a check? Yeah, exactly.
I used to have to pay my rent with a cashier's check, but you just take a blank check and be like, write this number on it and send it to this address. So even then I didn't really fill it out. I just went to the bank and got a blank check. I don't even own a checkbook.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time I wrote a check, and I couldn't even tell you what it was for. Now, not to go on and say that I'm Mr. Technology with automatic payments deducted or PayPal or Venmo or all that stuff, because I'm not. I can do it with a little help, but I couldn't tell you the last time I got out my checkbook, found the pay to the order of, wrote the business on there, wrote the amount of money, and then signed my name. I can't remember the last time I did. You know what? I'm going to do that tonight. Remind me. I'm going to go home. First of all, I have to find my checkbook. I have no idea where it's at. And I'm going to look and see what the last thing I wrote a check for. I'm really curious to see what it was for. I don't think it would have been for bills, because we handle those, electronically. I don't know what I would have written or paid somebody via check. I can't remember. Now that's driving me nuts. I'm going to have to go look that up. I might not want to know. I don't know. I'm going to find out, though. I'll let you know tomorrow. If it's cool, I'll let you know what it is tomorrow. If it was for something stupid, then I'm not going to tell you. But yeah, I'm anxious to see. I'm anxious to see what that was for. But yeah, that kind of goes like writing checks, using the phone book, using the TV guide, reading it. We just don't do it anymore. I'm sure some do. Oh. I mean, how many people read the paper? How many people pick up a copy of the paper and read it? I used to still do that, but it was usually only on Sunday. Because remember, the sports sections used to be 10, 12, 13, 14 pages. Well, hell. Yep. You're lucky if you get 3 or 4 pages now. So I don't do that anymore. But I used to always want to. I was that old school. I was that bullheaded. I had to have a copy of the newspaper on Sunday. The other days of the week, I got it over the phone, computer, whatever. Now I don't even do the Sunday paper. It's just gone. It's sad. It really is. I got a lot of friends in the newspaper business still to this day. People at the Rep, the Beacon, the PD, other people, other news outlets around the country. And it's kind of sad what's happened there. But yeah, don't write checks anymore. Don't use the phone book. Don't read the TV guide, and I don't pick up a copy of the paper. That's just 4 things I don't do anymore. And I'm probably in the majority there, I'm sure. I wonder. Somebody else also brought up earlier on the show, called in or texted in or whatever, commented. Another big racket going on today is the price of youth sports. Travel ball, maybe for the girls like volleyball, gymnastics, camps, competitions, stuff like that. AAU basketball, football camps, people just making all kind of crazy promises that your kids are going to be the next so-and-so, but you got to pay this money. You got to get in now. Hurry up. We'll make this happen for you. They promise you everything. And the prices are just, you wouldn't believe. I can't believe what some of my friends tell me that they've spent on travel ball, youth sports, summer stuff. I can't, it blows my mind. Like some of those that should be dealt with. I mean, they're really preying on some people out there, really taking advantage of their dreams, whether it's the kids or the moms and dads that, hopefully want to see their kids realize that dream. And a lot of times you don't have to go that route. You can do it a different way. But yeah, bottled water, youth sports, cable, health insurance, gas prices, they got us, man. They got us. All right. It's that time. We love this time of day. About 5:26, 5:27, Monday through Friday here on 1310 AM 1310 WDPN, the Sam Bourquin Show. We get ready for today in sports history. And away we go. On this day in 1918, Babe Ruth became the second American League player to hit a home run in 4 consecutive games. On this day in 1968, Bobby Bonds of the Giants hit a grand slam home run in his first game with the Giants. He was the first player to debut ever with a grand slam. On this day in 1985, the New York Yankees officials enacted the rule that mandated that the team's bat boys had to wear protective helmets during all games. Got to have a helmet on. On this day in 1997, the NHL officially approved expansion to 30 teams by the year 2000, with the announcement of new teams in Atlanta, the Thrashers, they would move again, Columbus, Minnesota, and Nashville. How about that? On this day in 2003, Todd McFarlane bought Barry Bonds' 73rd home run ball at auction. You know what he paid for that bad boy? Let me tell you. $517,500. It's time for the audio portion. 1985, ABC's Monday Night Football began with a new lineup. It was Frank Gifford, Joe Namath, and O.J. Simpson. Here's an opening to a Browns-Steelers Monday night game. At the very end, Frank Gifford cracks the mic on ABC.
Cleveland Stadium is sold out tonight. 80,000 on hand to watch a bitter rivalry between the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers renewed tonight. They've been playing for 35 years. Records mean nothing when these two teams get together. Hello again, everyone. I'm Frank Gifford.
There he was, old Frank. And then he would bring in Joe Namath, and then he would bring in the juice. And you were ready for Monday Night Football. Remember they always used to say at the Browns game, 80,000, sold out, 80,000. Monday Night Football, regular season games, the playoffs, 80,000. That place never held 80,000. It never held 80,000 people. Like, actual seating capacity was like 78,200. And you heard the stories of the Indians back in the day where they would have double headers. They'd had 84,000 people. Now, maybe they did it for baseball. They snuck them in. But there was never 80,000 seats in that stadium. That's not what the capacity was. But who knows? People snuck in, got in, hid out in the bathrooms, slept in the urinal. You know all that good stuff back then. All right, that's another edition of Today in Sports History here on the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll get your calls. We'll get your texts. We'll check out social media. But first, it's the news and weather. Stay with us.
Now, the latest area news on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon, it's 5:30. The man accused of firebombing a pro-Israel march and rally in Boulder, Colorado earlier this month has been indicted, ABC's Alex Stone reports.
In a new federal indictment, Mohammed Solomon has been charged with 12 hate crime counts for allegedly using Molotov cocktails to attack victims on the Pearl Street Mall in Boulder on June 1st. He had previously been charged with one federal hate crime. The new indictment is 12. He's also facing 118 state charges, including attempted murder. Solomon allegedly plotted his attack for over a year, wanting to kill pro-Israel marchers in Boulder. Alex Stone, ABC News.
NATO leaders have agreed on a massive increase in defense spending after pressure from President Trump and expressed their ironclad commitment to come to each other's aid if attacked. The 32 leaders endorsed a final summit statement saying allies commit to invest 5% of gross domestic product annually on core defense requirements, as well as defense and security-related spending by 2035 to ensure our individual and collective obligations. Russia remains the major threat in Europe, but the U.S. is shifting its attention to focus on security issues elsewhere. However, some countries have already warned that they will struggle to meet the target. President Trump and Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky met on the sidelines of the NATO summit in the Netherlands today. The president says the conversation did not include any mention of a ceasefire, but Zelensky said it did. When asked at a news conference after the summit today about why the president hasn't been able to help the Russians and Ukrainians stop the fighting, Trump had this to say while claiming the ceasefire between Iran and Israel is holding.
Vladimir Putin has been more difficult. Frankly, I had some problems with Zelensky. You may have read about him. And it's been more difficult than other wars. I mean, look, we just ended a war in 12 days that was simmering for 30 years, frankly.
Kilmar Abrego Garcia's wife says their wedding anniversary falls on the day he's expected to be released from jail in Tennessee and then taken into immigration custody. The Salvadorian national, whose mistaken deportation became a flashpoint over the Trump administration's immigration policies, has been in jail since he was returned to the United States early this month. Abrego Garcia faces 2 counts of human smuggling. A hearing to set conditions for his release pending trial is set for today. Immigration authorities are expected to immediately detain him. Abrego Garcia's wife says it's been 106 days since he was, in her words, abducted by the Trump administration. It's 76 degrees in Alliance at 5:32. This is WDPN News. I'm Jeff Mears.
Here's the Alliance Area Weather Forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
This afternoon's forecast calling for a 60% chance of showers and thunderstorms, otherwise partly sunny with a high near 88 degrees. Tonight, a chance of showers and thunderstorms in the evening and overnight. Patchy fog after about 3 a.m., otherwise mostly cloudy with a low around 71. For Thursday, showers and thunderstorms likely in the afternoon, partly sunny, a high of 88, chance of rain 60%. That's your WDPN weather.
Got big dreams of a better career? Whether you're looking to learn new skills, land your next job, or refine your resume, Ohio Means Jobs, Stark and Tuscarawas counties is here to help you turn that daydream into your day job. We will provide everything you need to succeed, from resume assistance to job search guidance and everything in between. Call us or visit our website at omjwork.com to learn more, because your future is closer than you think.
You're listening to the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
And we are back. Thanks for hanging out with us today. 5:34 on your Wednesday. Don't forget tomorrow, one of our favorite days of the week. It's a 3-question Thursday edition of the Sam Bourquin Show. So I'll be in the lab tonight cooking up some questions for us tomorrow. That's the 3-question Thursday edition beginning at 3. Right here on 1310 WDPN and all of our social media platforms. And, of course, a fill-in-the-blank Friday edition is coming up. And we always look forward to that as we kind of get you ready for your big weekend. Our son Dylan's turning 18 this Sunday. He's going to be 18 years old. I know you hear every parent say it. I can't believe it. Where did the time go? He was just yay high. He's going to be 18. He's like 6'1" now, by the way. He's almost past me. Growing like crazy. Now, if we could get him at about 6'7" and have him handle the rock, be a point guard. Ooh, life would be good. But yeah, he's going to be 18 on Sunday. That'll be fun. We're looking forward to that. All right, let's get back to the phones here. 330-821-1310, 330-821-1310. You're on with Sam Bourquin on a Wednesday on WDPN. Good afternoon. Who's this?
This is Diana.
Hey, Diana, how are you?
Just fine.
Good.
Now, I'm a senior citizen, so I still write checks.
Okay.
I still use the TV guide.
Okay.
I still read the newspaper every day.
Okay. Okay. Well, you're informed, though. That's good.
I'm not computer-oriented or anything like that, so consequently, I still use the same old-time methods.
No, well, you know what, though? It still works, doesn't it? It still works.
I used to listen to you many years ago, and we had a conversation when they changed the name from Fawcett Stadium to Benson Stadium.
Benson Stadium, yeah.
Yep.
Well, you know what? It's still Fawcett to me.
Oh, it's still Fawcett to my kids.
Yep.
Because all my kids played there, and they said it'll stay Fawcett Stadium till the day they die.
Yep, me too. I just can't. I mean, I know I have to use the name, but in my heart, it's always going to be. And actually, I'll take you back even further. It's always going to be John A. Fawcett Stadium.
Yes.
That's what's always going to be that way. So I gotta ask you a question while we've got you. I used to be really big into the TV guide, even when I was a kid, because my grandparents, they had cable, and they had other channels way before we were able to have it. And I used to love going through the TV guide, looking at, look at all these channels and all these programs. And obviously, what does the TV guide look like nowadays? And where do you get those at the grocery store still, or?
No, mine comes through the mail. I ordered for a year.
Oh, okay.
Mine comes through the mail, and it's just it comes once a month. Has all the month's programs. in
Oh,
it.
wow. See, they used to come out every week, remember?
Yes.
And the TV Guide, it used to be like, oh, God, it wasn't like a magazine
No,
style.
Like
it was real short.
5x7
Yeah.
little small magazine.
So what are they now? More, just like
they're full size.
They're full size, and they come out once a month.
It's like an 8x10 sheet.
Okay, and only once a month now.
Yeah, once a month.
That's incredible. That's incredible. I always look forward to see who was going to be on the cover.
Yeah.
You know?
And there's a few stories in there about a few people and things like that. You know, they still do that.
I got to tell you.
Cable, and you was talking about what's the biggest thing, you know, the expense and everything. Cable TV is terrible.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. We still pay it, though. And I'm like,
and they don't want you to cancel your contract or anything. I mean, every time you go and try to talk to them, you can't talk to them.
No.
Yeah.
You gotta
they don't
go.
want to listen to you.
You got to call Tim Misney. He'll make them pay, man. You got to do that. Hey, real quick before I got to share a story with you. And we were talking about the TV guides.
Mm-hmm.
That is the first time I ever got hooked into. Remember the Columbia House? They used to sell cassettes and stuff for you could buy 13 for a penny. Yeah. Remember that? That's how I got sucked in, because they had those little coupons inside the TV guide, and that's when I first got caught up in all that racket.
Oh yeah. You ordered the first 12 and you got 12 of them, or so many free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got sucked into that. I probably still owe money from like 40 years ago. Oh well, I win that one. Hey, thanks for calling today. It was great to hear from you.
Okay, same here.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. That's that. Remember the Columbia House? 13 cassettes or CDs for a penny. Well, that's a good deal. And then I'd go down a little bit. I read must buy 3 at regular club price within the next year. And the prices were between I don't know, $11.49 and $14.99. But still, that hook of, you mean to tell me you're going to send me 13 cassettes or 13 CDs and I only have to pay you a penny? And you're going to send them right to my door? Oh, wait a minute. There's some more fine print down here. Oh, what is this? $2-3 extra per piece for shipping and handling. Okay. So now all of a sudden, I've got 13 cassettes or 13 CDs. Now, instead of a penny, I'm paying what? What am I paying for shipping and handling there? 13 times, let's just say 13 times 3. I'm paying $39. Okay, big whoop. That's still a great deal. So they would send you the first 6. It was like a little tease. Okay, now we need you to purchase at least one of these 3 before we send you the next 6. And then you've got so long before you have to buy the next 2. By God, I did it, though. I did it. I used to love looking at all the selections that had that little box next to it. Okay, give me Journey. Give me the Eagles. Give me Michael Jackson. By the way, Michael Jackson passed away 16 years ago today. I wanted to mention that earlier and I forgot. And I'm looking down here. Okay, let's see here. U2. Okay, so I'll take that one. All right, I got 4. I got 9 more to go. I got 9 more. How am I going to find 9 more that I really, really want? So I'd put the card down. I'd put the pen away. I'd go run around, get into some kind of trouble. I'd come back a couple hours and go, okay, who do I want here? Elton John? No. AC/DC? No. Eagles? No. Tom Petty? Hell no. Let's see. Who else do I want here? Oh, Phil Collins. Okay, I'll take that. Kiss. Yes, I'll take that. Genesis. Yep, we'll do that one. And I would get the 13, and I'd fill that baby out. I'd mail it in. And I forgot about the other asterisk at the bottom. please allow 6 to 8 weeks for delivery. You mean to tell me, okay, so I had to wait. I was like Ralphie in A Christmas Story, waiting for that Ovaltine crap to come in the mail, right? I thought it was coming every day. Nope. Finally, they arrived. I opened up the box. I saw the big Columbia sticker on the box. I'd open them up. There's my CDs. All right, this is good. Okay, there's 6 of them. And I'd start to open them up. I'd play them all, this, that, and the other. Okay, now comes time to pay the piper once. You got to send your money in. Got to find another selection. And then I think once I sent the money in for that one, then a couple more weeks would go by. They would send me the next 7 that I ordered, plus the selection that I paid up front for like $13-14. I was done. I never fulfilled that agreement. I can't tell you how many letters and phone calls I got from Columbia House. You better pay. We're gonna get you. We're gonna what are you gonna garnish? What are you gonna garnish? My parlay sheets to my dad? Come on, what are you gonna do? But that was the fun of it. But yeah, I'm glad. What was our caller's name? Was it Marie? I forget already.
Yeah, no, I'm not sure. Did you didn't get her name?
I did, but I forgot. I apologize. I think it was Marie. But she brought up the fact about the TV guide. And that's the first time I got suckered into that Columbia House stuff. And I took the little ad, the little ticket right out of the TV guide, and I went and took it home that night and filled it out. Or else I would have never done it. I didn't tell anybody either. I didn't tell mom, dad, nobody. Didn't tell them anything. I couldn't tell you where those cassettes are either. Or CDs. Those have probably been gone over all the garage sales that we've had over the years.
You know, it's funny that you mentioned A Christmas Story when you said that, because I think that movie is why I never got fooled by those things.
Oh, you learned the lesson through
I saw
Ralphie.
him and I was like, he just got a stupid little thing that tells him to buy more Ovaltine.
Yeah.
Those things are scams.
Yeah, eat more Ovaltine. Hey, you two, isn't it time for your favorite radio program? Come in now, sit down by the radio, turn it on. And they'd sit there. Holy smokes, yeah. Ralphie was waiting for the Ovaltine, and I was waiting for my Columbia House cassettes and CDs. Man, the world was different back then. It really was. Let's take a break. 5:46 here on the Sam Bourquin Show. Phone lines are open. If you want to get in, 330-821-1310. You can always text the show at 330-924-7088. You can like, share, and comment on all of our 1310 WDPN social media platforms. A lot of you doing that today. And big hello and how are you to our folks listening and watching on the Q92 radio page on YouTube. We appreciate you doing that as well. We'll take a break. We'll come back with more. Stay with us on 1310 WDPN.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-498-2098 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as 1 day. Just dial 1-800-498-2098 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-498-2098 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Achieving this takes skill and expertise. They're tireless explorers, creatively discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, experimenting, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures and connecting with each other. Leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org, a campaign supported by the U.S. Department of Education, teach.org, and 1 million teachers of color.
Wounded Warrior Project helps post 9/11 veterans and their families realize what's possible. With support and resources that bring warriors together and empower them to become stronger, both inside and out.
It's possible to begin healing, to get the help you need,
to find peace. And as each warrior's needs evolve, so do we. Because these last 20 years are just the beginning. Learn more at woundedwarriorproject.org/possible.
Get on board. The water is open. It's time to go boating and fishing and leave stress in our wake. Feel the wind as we ride and a fish on the line. Reel in our first catch and feel the sun at our backs. It's get out on the water season. It's time to get on board. Find out where to get on board near you. Visit Take Me Fishing and Discover Boating to learn more. And please recreate responsibly. Get on board. Get on board.
This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
We got about 11 minutes until we bid you adieu on this Wednesday afternoon. Lines are open, 330-821-1310, 330-821-1310. Let me see here. Sam, a bunch of us got... let me see here. Okay. Sam, a bunch of us got sucked in back in the 70s at our grocery store by attractive college girls in shorts and tank tops. They were selling magazine subscriptions. You got 4 or 5 for free, but in the fine print, you had to buy 5 more at a yearly subscription price. When we finally realized what happened, nobody paid. They sent us threatening letters. Nobody ever paid them. Magazine subscriptions. Now, that's one thing I never got stuck with. Now, I did used to get Sports Illustrated back in the day, yearly, and I would get, remember the Sporting News? I would get that. Did I just say yearly? I would get that weekly. I used to get SI and the Sporting News weekly for about 3 or 4 years. Then I was kind of over it. But yeah, the magazine subscriptions. Now, I think Columbia House, didn't they also do movies too? It was CDs, cassettes. I'm pretty sure they did movies, music and movies.
That sounds right.
And once I got I got hosed on the music, there was no way I was going down the road of the movies, because those were a lot more than the music too. So you could really, and look, I didn't have a penny to my name. I don't know how I got money to scrape together to pay for some of this stuff. No idea. Let's see here. Gary says, hey, great stories about TV Guide. Talk about stuff that just kind of went by the wayside. Yeah, no doubt. George, Sam, great show today again. Glad you're back. Can you please do something about the Cleveland Guardians television coverage? No, can't help you there, but thanks for asking. Let's see here. Trying to scroll through these things on social media. Oh, here we go. Donald says, hey, I kind of wondered what your thoughts would be as far as football goes. This is high school he's talking about. Putting everybody in the playoffs. Everybody. And just shorten the amount of teams that you can schedule. Those first couple games move the league. Games up. Have all the rivalry games on week 9 and then have the playoffs start on what would be week 10. No, I don't want to. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. No. I think we've made some changes here recently. That only the top 12 are going to get in from the region instead of 16. I think 12 is still too many, but whatever. The season, the postseason is still 6 weeks long. It's too long, but we're not going to win that battle. But yeah, I don't want to. See, I like the non-conference matchups that you get in high school when you get some good games. Like, I know we're all worried about the league, wherever it's the EBC, the Federal League, the Greater Cincinnati League, the GCL down in Cincinnati, the Steel Valley over in Youngstown, the Suburban League. We're all worried about, hey, the league, and that usually starts week 3 or week 4. So you got non-conference games week 1, week 2, week 3, some week 4. But I always enjoyed that. I always enjoyed the non-conference games that were good matchups. Now, obviously, nobody gets excited, and quite frankly, not many people went to games that were, a big D1 against a D3 or a D4 or a team that were completely mismatched, or, a lot of the teams around here, unfortunately, for reason, and sometimes for reasons I didn't understand, would bring teams in and just beat them to a pulp. They beat these teams up from DC. They bring them in from Canada, or they'd bring them in from wherever and just pound them. And it was like, okay, this isn't serving anybody. This is terrible football. People aren't showing up. The kids, they're not in it. What are you really learning there by hammering somebody 67-3? You know what I mean? But no, I don't want to move I want to keep it where it's at now. And I enjoy those preseason games. I love it when the teams go out on a limb and they schedule up. I like that, because the league, for most of the leagues in Ohio, they're all pretty balanced, most of them. Of course, you got a lot of pretty good teams that are independent too. But you see my point. I like kind of building that crescendo up a little bit for the first week of the league games. I like that. So, but Coach Donald DeGaspers, boy, Donald, good to hear from you. I appreciate you reaching out and sending that note my way. But I just kind of I like it where we're at right now. Does anybody think that the Cavs are going to do something crazy tonight? I don't get that feeling. I don't think they're going to make any kind of a move. I don't think they're going to move a Darius Garland. I don't think they're going to try to get into the first round. Remember, they're out. They're picking way down at the bottom in the second round. You're probably not going to find anything there. Every once in a while, you get lucky. But nowadays, if you're not in the lottery, like the top 7, top 10, it's tough. It's tough to build through the draft that way. But does anybody think that they're gonna pull the trigger on something? And what would they do? Like, would they move Garland? Would they package Garland with Jerome, Merrill, Wade? And what would they do it for? Who would they try to get in return? Remember, we're not exactly free flowing with the salary cap. Okay, we're in that. Who came up with the term second apron, by the way? Does that make any sense to anybody? We're talking about NBA basketball, and they're talking about aprons. But anyway, the Cavs don't really have a lot of financial flexibility. I don't think they're going to do anything tonight. Now, remember, Kobe Altman, he's got a little bit of a reputation for doing things, for making deals. Just when you're ready to fade off for the night, boom, here comes an alert. Back, when Woj was doing it, the Woj bomb. Now it's a Sham bomb. And the Cavs would do something. And the Cavs would work a three-way deal with somebody. Like, you know what? If you go back in the history of the Cavs, how many times have they just done a deal with one team? It's always been a three-team deal because there's always been the financial part of it, the salary cap. You needed another dancing partner to make it work, so you brought them in. And by the time everybody got their seat at the table and all the dust settled, here's what you had. Cavs got this, got that. Team X got this and that. Team Y got this and that, and they were done. So I guess what I'm saying is don't be completely surprised if the Cavs do something tonight or if they do something tomorrow. I'm just not counting on it. But if they do something, look out. We will definitely have something to talk about. Guardians and the Blue Jays coming up tonight, 6:40 at the stadium, Progressive Field. Scherzer and Williams, the pitching matchup tonight. Mad Max comes in, no record and a 6.00 ERA. Big Gavin Williams comes in 5-3 and a 3.58 earned run average. Couple of finals today as we wrap it up. Paul Skeens and the Pirates got beat today by the Brewers 4-2. White Sox beat the Diamondbacks by the score of 7-3. A couple of games in progress, and the Angels lead the Red Sox 4-2 in the 6th. Top of the 8th, the Padres lead the Nationals by the score of 1-0. You hear Phil in the background. Thanks to Ryan Rainsberg again today. Great job, my friend. Thanks to all who called, who listened, who texted, who emailed, who commented. We certainly appreciate that. And we'll do it all over again tomorrow at 3 right here on 1310 WDPN with the Sam Bourquin Show. As always, don't forget, go Guards, go Cavs, go Bucks, go Browns. Good night. We'll see you all tomorrow.